Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Okay, this is Calvin Butler. I am coming to you all live from my backyard, as you all can see. Today is Saturday. So we're coming up on the Six Figures Booking Freight from Home show here shortly, and we're gonna get started here shortly. So I'm doing what's called a little bit of a pre-show, kind of like the pre-game warm-up. Let the light up here. See if y'all can see my backyard. We got going on back here in the backyard. So let's do a little bit of a pre-show. It's what I'm doing right now. And for people who want to come on and ask some questions, I'll try and answer some questions for y'all before we get started here on Facebook. Because once we get started, I'm not going to have the time to kind of go back and forth on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook right now, let's go ahead and get some stuff out of the way while we're on here for those people. Because I know I don't devote a whole lot of time to you all during the Saturday shows. But give me a moment. Let me share some stuff. Sharing some groups here. Let me share in some groups before we get started. Let's share in RBBS, the Logistics Learning Center. So let's share there. Let's also share. Today, we're going to also share on, where's we're going to share it today? We're also going to share on All Truckers United. Let's share there. And so we're going to share in All Truckers United. We're going to start there. I didn't mean to go all the way over there, but I guess we did. Let me get rid of this headset thing here. All right. How did I get there? I don't know how I got there. But anyway, this is our pre-show. So let me go back to our pre-show area. All right. So I'm out here in my backyard. It's a beautiful day out, so I thought we'd do this outside today here in the backyard. So right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a little pre-show, because I know normally doing the Six Figures Booking Freight from Home show, we don't get enough time to spend with you all here on this on Facebook, because I'm real busy with my students and on Zoom. So when this kicks off at 10:15, I really won't have time to be going back and forth and reading on Facebook. So I decided I'd start giving you all a little 15-minute pre-show, and you all can ask questions and things of that nature as far as what we're all about, some of the things we have that's coming up. Now, one of the things that we have that's coming up is Assurance USA. Okay, let me pull it up for you all. We have a Facebook page, and that's Assurance USA. Load that up for you all so y'all can kind of get to it and see it there. All right, there it is. And we have a website already, and it is HTTP. We have actually two domains. The little dot signs, / no cheap freight .com. All right, and that's our website, nocheapfreight.com. We also have another, I think I put that in right. I put that in right, nocheapfreight.com. Yeah, nocheapfreight.com. And you can also go to HTTPS Assurance USA.net. So those are the websites and things of that nature. Okay, so for those of you who are not on Facebook, for those of you who are not, who are not on our Zoom, Now it's the time for you all to ask me questions, about those things while I have the time to sit here and kind of talk to you all about it and everything. But we're doing some things. I'm trying better the industry. As you all know, cheap freight is a real big problem with owner operators. It is a very big problem with owner operators. Let me switch back over to my other Facebook group to see what they got going on before I jump off of this thing here. But as you all know, cheap freight is a huge problem, and I'm swinging back and forth. So if you have any questions, make sure you all go ahead and log in and ask those questions before we get too far ahead. Let me let some people into my thing here. But as I said before, right now what we're doing a little bit of a pre-show for those people who are on Facebook, because we normally don't get a chance to converse with them. So right now we're hanging out on Facebook and we're doing our pre-show for the first 15 minutes to accommodate those people who are on Facebook, but they never get a chance to really talk to us during the live shows. So since we are on Facebook, we are going to be dedicating this little time to you all. Now, a little bit more about the Assurance USA as I was speaking. Okay. Everyone knows that owner operators cannot afford to run loads that are below $2 per mile. The majority of them can't. And about 68% of the industry's loads freight that's out there is below $2 per mile. You can check in the load board and just do the math yourself. For every 10 loads you see that are cheap freight, you have maybe 2 or maybe 3 that are decent freight. So only about 2 out of the 10 loads that are on in the load board are going to be above, $2.50, $3 per mile. And as you go up higher in cents per mile, the lower that percentage gets. So, it's a real problem. The reason why, because fuel, trucks got to have fuel. Fuel runs about $2. Right now, it's a little bit less, but on average, normal times, fuel is about $2.78, $2.79 per gallon. And the trucks only get 5.56 miles to the gallon. So fuel is very expensive, as you all know, when it comes to trying to move these trucks. So just the fuel alone takes up a lot of the owner operator's money. Takes a lot of the operating expense. And then on top of that, you got travel time, deadhead. I don't know if y'all know what deadhead is. Deadhead is when a truck is going to pick up a load, but it doesn't have anything on its trailer. Those are the miles that are ran that don't have money on the back of their truck. There's no freight, there's no money. So they're basically just riding for free and spending fuel and spending money getting to the freight. And then when they get there, chances are, the load is less than $3, $2 per mile. It's less than that. So $1.50, $1.25, $1.78, $1.12. I've seen freight as low as 98 cents, 95 cents. There's no way owner operators can afford to run that type of freight. So the lion's share of freight out there is below $2 per mile. So that's a real problem. And the reason why people say, well, why is freight so cheap? Well, freight is so cheap because the reason why freight is so cheap is because big carriers, these mega carriers like Swift, is the main one. Swift back in 2017, late 2017, they merged with Night Transportation, which made them the largest carrier probably on the face of the planet. They have about 23,000 trucks. So you're looking at about 23,000 trucks that they have. And then on top of that, you got carriers like JB Hutt that's got about 22, 24, close to 3,000 trucks. Then you got Covenant that's got almost 5,000 trucks. Then you got Warner that's got about 4,000 or 5,000 trucks. Then you got, all these other ones, Heartland Express, they got about 2,000 trucks, and you got a whole bunch of independents that's got more than 1,000 trucks. Now, why is that such a problem? Because if you got a carrier like Swift that's running 23,000 trucks, they can afford to only profit. And when I say profit, I'm talking about net profit. We're talking about net profit. They can afford to only net profit $50 per truck per week. Now, let's make sure we put that into perspective here. That's not a lot of money. That's pennies. Now, when we say net profit, we're talking about after they have paid all their people, they paid for the fuel, they paid the administration, they paid the office staff, they paid everybody they need to pay, and then what they put in the bank, all they need to put in the bank is $50 per truck per week. We're not talking $50 per load. We're not talking $50 per day. We're talking $50 per week per truck. And if they do that, just do the math on that. All right. That's 23,000 trucks times 50 times 52 weeks. That's $59,800,000 on $50 per truck per week. So the notion that cheap freight is going to go anywhere, you can forget that. Okay. These shippers are not going to lower their rates because they don't have to, because there's a huge market for cheap freight. In fact, any carrier that has more than 1,000 trucks will make over $5 million per year if they are just net profiting $50 per truck per week. So therein lies the problem with cheap freight. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is we have come up with a way to compensate owner operators for running a couple of cheap freight loads per week. Now, you're probably saying, well, Captain, what's that going to do? Well, let's do the math on that. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen here so we can do the math on that real quick. Let me get with my people and let them in, let everybody know. For those of you who are on Zoom, we are doing a pre-show for the people who normally don't get a chance to see to respond. So right now we're right in the middle of a pre-show. So if you all can hold your questions and everything until we actually get started, and we'll get started with you all. But let me share my screen here so I can start showing these people on this this pre-show here. All right. So what we have here is let's go to my old calculator here. All right. So basically what you got is this. Okay. When we say Assurance USA is going to help owner operators make more money, and here's why. Because the way Assurance USA works, not insurance, this is assurance. The way it works is that we will enhance an owner operator subpar loads. Those are loads that they are running that are less than $2 per mile. We would enhance, we would enhance those loads by up to $1 if they are a dry van, if they are a flatbed. If they're running loads less than $2.50 per mile, we will enhance those loads up to $1 per mile. If they are a reefer and they're running loads less than $3 per mile, we will enhance it up to $1 per mile. So that means a dry van who's pulling a load that's what, $1.50, they can enhance it up to $1 per mile and make it $2.50 per mile. But let's look at what that $1 per mile means. If you just take $1 per mile and the average trip is 700 and this is if they're running long hauls. If they're running long hauls and the average trip is 769 miles. That's about average for for a long haul, for an over-the-road driver. Okay, that's gonna total to $769 per week if they just claiming one load per week, right? So that times 52 weeks, so there's 52 weeks in a year. That's an extra $39,988. That's like a whole nother separate income. Now that's added, that's extra on top of what they're already making, because if they're running 2 loads per week that are above subpar, like loads that's paying $250, $275, or $280, right? You see what I'm saying? They're already making about what? $50,000, $60,000. Then they add this right here, they bump up another $40,000. But just by adding one one assurance claim per week. So now an owner operator, now what happens if they claim 2 loads? Well, then that doubles, of course. Well, what happens if they like running short runs? Well, let's look at the short runs for those of you who like to run short hauls. And get this, you can run more short hauls than you can long hauls. So there's a chance instead of claiming just 2 loads per week, you're probably going to claim 3, sometimes 4 loads per week on short hauls. Because if you're running short hauls, and short hauls are loads that run anywhere under 400 miles, because you can run those in one day. So let's say on average, you're running 385 miles on short hauls. Now, some are going to be a lot less. Some short hauls are going to be 70 miles, 80 miles, 100 miles, 150, 200 miles. You may be able to run 3 of them in one day if you manage them right. So that means you could be claiming at least 1 load per day on your what? On your assurance policy claim, if you're real good with running short haul loads. Now, let's say you're a dry van and you're running short hauls, 385 miles, all right? You ran 2 short hauls that were paying you about $325, because short hauls normally pay more, $325, $350, that per mile. And that's $3 per mile, $3.25, $3.25 per mile. Now, let's say you're running those short haul loads, right? And let's say you're trying to get back home, but you can't find any good paying load that will take you back home. Only loads you're seeing out there, loads that are running on short hauls, what? Maybe $150, $175, might be $2, or whatever case may be. So you will be able to claim that one subpar load. Let's say if it's that one subpar load, and if it's $150, now it's $250. If it was $199, now it's $299 per mile. And remember, because you're running short haul, let's say you claim 2 per week. In some cases, you might be claiming 2 per day if your short hauls are small enough. But let's say you claim let's do that scenario. If you're claiming at least 1 per day because you're running short hauls, and you may be running 3 runs per day on short hauls if you get them short enough. But on average, you got to, and that may not be every day, but let's say with running short hauls combined with your intermediate hauls, you're going to be able to claim at least 3 loads per week, at least 3. Because in order to claim 1 load, you have to have 2 loads that ran above subpar. Remember that. So for every 1 subpar load you claim, you got to submit 2 loads that shows that you ran that were above the subpar break for your particular trailer. If it's dry van, you have to show 2 loads that ran above $2. If it is flatbed, you got to show 2 loads that ran above $2.50. If it was reefer, you got to show 2 loads that ran above $3. But you get to claim 1 subpar load for every 2 loads you run that are above subpar. So let's say in this case, you're going to claim 3 loads. So that's $1 extra per mile, right? Let's clear this out. So that's $1 extra per mile. And let's say you're only running 200. Let's say those loads are really, really short loads, because I want to show y'all how this benefits no matter what you run. So let's say you're running those loads at a really, really short load. Let's say they're only 200-mile runs. Okay, so that's $200, right? Because that's 1 times 200. That's $200, right? So that's $200, and 200 times 3 loads. If you're claiming 3 that week, that's $600. Times 3, that's $600, right? Per week. Multiply that times 52 weeks. You're looking at an extra $31,200 on just short loads. I mean, and if your premium is $413, $415 per month, you're only spending about what, 46, maybe 45 to 46 to $4,600 per year on your premiums, but you're netting out more than that if you're claiming your load. So even on short loads, if you're claiming just 3 on very short loads, 200 miles or whatever case may be, you're still gonna net $31,000 extra on top of the money you're already making. And if you're running just regular average, regular runs, 769 miles or so, you're looking at claiming an extra, what, $40,000. And if you claim 2 of them, you're looking at $80,000. Now, if you're claiming more than the 3 on the short load, you're looking at even more. This will effectively end cheap freight concerns for owner-operators. It's not going to end cheap freight because nothing's ever going to get rid of cheap freight because there's a huge market for cheap freight. But what it does is it levels the playing field for owner-operators. Now they don't have to worry about running deadhead just to get to a decent paying load. They don't have to worry about finding a back haul and losing money going back home. Now they can go on back home, grab a cheap freight load, go on back home, claim it, and then bring it back up. Then they made decent money. All right, I've got to get started on my show. So let me get back to my people here and let me let them in. And let's get them started. Where did I lose my meeting controls here? Here we go. Let me let my people back in. Manage participants. All right, everybody is in so far. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with them. And I will get back with you all on Facebook at a later time. So I thank y'all on Facebook. Mr. Philip Pope, I see you say you want to join in. Need to know where and pricing. Are you talking about joining in on the Assurance USA, or if you're talking about joining in on our platform? Now, the Assurance USA, that won't get started until about another 40 days. We're about 40 days away from our launch. Okay, you can go to assuranceusa.net, or you can go to nocheapfreight.com. nocheapfreight.com or assuranceusa.net. You'll find all the information there. You can actually submit your claims online. You can send in requests for information, and an agent will contact you and go on and tell you about the policy and all the different policies and how you can go ahead and start your assurance policy. Now, that won't start until about 40 days because we haven't launched yet. We've got in place all of our trademarks. We filed for our trademark with the U.S. Patent Office, so we got that back. So we got all our name, trademark, logos, trademark, the original terms that we created, they're all trademark. We were even able to get a patent on the business model. Why? Because we created the industry. This industry did not exist before we created it. So that's why we were able to actually secure a patent on the business model itself. Okay, so and that's rare that you can secure a patent on a business model. Now, does that mean that other companies can't run this same type of business? No, it just means that they have to pay us first, or they have to go into some type of agreement before they can actually engage in this business model. Why? Because we created the industry. We didn't just come up with something new within the industry. We actually created an entire new industry, original terms, like compensation enhancement assurance policy. That term did not exist before we created it. Assurance agencies, that did not exist before we created. There are insurance agencies, but this is not insurance. This is assurance. So this whole thing is original, and it did not exist before we created it. And I have been working on this for about 3 years so that we could, because I've been working on this problem of trying to find a solution to cheap freight for about 3 years. So y'all have a great day on Facebook. Y'all are welcome to stay tuned in. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my class here, and that way we can go ahead and get started with them and get things on the road. All right, how's everybody doing over here in our group? How's everybody doing?
What's up, group mate? Woo woo.
All right, nice to see y'all.
We're doing good.
I was just conducting a little what we called we were doing a little what am I talking about here? We were doing a little pre-show for the people who are normally seeing us on Facebook, but I know they ask a lot of questions sometimes, but we don't get a chance to go back and forth and answer those questions because why? Well, we are, in the middle of doing what we're doing, and it's kind of hard to get back and forth to deal with that. But since we are on now, and I want you all to know that it is a great, great, great day. As you all can see, I'm outside. It's beautiful out here in my backyard. You can't beat this. So beautiful day. So I thought we take it outside today. Let me let this down a little bit so that we can get a little bit of the glare off of us. Give y'all a better look here. There we go. Is that better for everybody?
Yes, go big, Calvin. Go big.
How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? All right. Today is Saturday, and it is roughly 10:23. We're getting started a little bit late. Actually, we got started early, but as far as the show is concerned, we're starting just a little bit late. But today is Saturday, and it's past 10:15, so that means it's time for the Six Figures Booking Freight for Homes from Home show. Today, okay, this is Calvin. First of all, this is Calvin Butler with the RBBS Logistics Learning Center, and we are here with the members of the National Dispatchers Network. That is a network that we form for all of our Learning Center members and everybody who wants to join our network. So that's what we are here today doing. All right. It's been a very, 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 very busy week. As you all know, the other night when I came on, y'all knows my eyes were bloodshot red. I didn't know it really until one of y'all told me, and I took a look at it, and they were bloodshot red, and I had a bad time that night. I actually, everything started going downhill from there. They started burning, they started swelling, they started tearing up. I couldn't stop the water from flowing out of my eyes. Got to the point where I couldn't keep my eyes open for more than 2 seconds. It was really, really, really bad. And on top of that, it was a thunderstorm here, a tornado watch out. So my wife couldn't just get up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna take you to the hospital," because it was storming outside. so we just kind of had to rough it out. I do some so with that clear eyes, the artificial tears, you put them in your eyes to try and wash them out. That seemed to make things worse. So she just sat up in bed with me all night and tried to help me sleep. Gave me some NyQuil that kind of knocked me out for a little while, but my eyes were hurting really, 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 really bad. And it turns out when they got up the next morning, they had started clearing up. So the next morning, they started clearing up. Whatever it was, it came on fast, quick, fast, in a hurry, and it went away just the same way. But did call the VA the next morning, and they put me on a virtual doctor's appointment. The VA got some really nice technology now. They got this thing called a VVC, the virtual visit consultation, where they basically have you to have a doctor's appointment, via your iPhone. so the doctor was at her home. I'm here at my home, and she was looking at my eyes and stuff and everything, and she basically diagnosed me and said that I either had an infection in my capillaries or the blood vessels in my capillary had swollen, and what caused that was no sleep because I've been staying up pretty much all night for the last 2 weeks. Just a couple of nights I didn't go to sleep at all. For about 3 nights last week, I didn't go to sleep at all. I stayed up all night long just working on some stuff, and generally only getting about maybe 1.5 hours of sleep every night. So, but they told me rest, sit my behind down, go to sleep. So my wife told me, on Friday, hey, just rest. Don't do squat. so so that's why I had limited time on Friday. When some of you all were calling up, and I would let you all know that I can't talk now. The boss says I gotta. The boss says, I can't be with y'all right now. I can't play with y'all right now. so that's the way it was. But besides that, it was a beautiful week. We've had some great advancements. As you all know, the Assurance USA is looking very, very good. We've got more than I think 300 visitors to the site just in the last 3 days alone. So the interest level is up on that product, and rightfully so, because it is a great product. It is a product that is going to change things for owner operators for the better all the way around. as y'all can see in the background, my wife, she's out there working in the yard and stuff. She's doing some stuff out in the yard. She's out there seeding our yard. She had that green thumb, so she's good at that type of stuff. So that's what she's doing right now. All right. What are we gonna do today? Today we're gonna welcome a lot of new members. We got a lot of new members. We've seen an increase in enrollments by almost 200%. We would normally get about 2, maybe 3 enrollments per day. That has jumped from that to about 6 or 7 per day in the last 2 to 3. Well, it's been a steady climb. I mean, when the first week when they started having these lockdowns and stuff, we jumped up to about maybe a 10% climb. And then as it got worse and worse, and people were being put out of work and things of that nature, we've seen an increase in enrollment now, almost 200 to 300% on the enrollment. We've jumped from 2 to 3 a day to almost 7, sometimes 10 per day. So we've got a lot of new people who are coming into the platform. A lot of people who've never been in trucking before. We've got people who are coming over from serious professions, and now they're seriously thinking about switching professions because of what's going on. And I can understand that. They look at the trucking industry and they see trucks still rolling, and they look at what they have going on and they see the doors are closed. So this is something that we've known for a very, very long time. That if you're in the trucking industry, you are in a great industry. Why? Because these trucks don't stop moving. They got to supply the country. They got to, service the entire country. Without them, the country fails. Everything comes to a halt. No food gets delivered. No medicine gets delivered. No equipment gets delivered. None of the stuff you can build with, it doesn't get delivered. Your fuel, it doesn't get delivered. So if the trucking industry fails, everything fails. You might as well go ahead and pack up your guns and head to the woods and get ready for the end of the world. Because without the trucking industry, that's what it is. Okay? So we understand and we welcome all those people who are coming into this network and into our platform and into this industry. This is a great industry. Now, that's not to say that my dogs are just acting up right there now. That's not to say that this industry does not have its ups and downs like any other industry, which it does. Sometimes loads get higher, loads get less. But with the Assurance USA, we are solving that problem. Another thing that we are doing here at the National Dispatchers Network and the Assurance USA and the things that we have going on, the great thing about our network is we're not here just to teach you all how to book freight. That's not all that we do. Our main focus is to teach you all and show you all how to become logistics entrepreneurs. That's our main focus. So exactly what does that mean? It means having consults with you all about things that you all are wanting to do, and we try to advise you all as best we can the best way of going about that. As long as it has to do something with the logistics industry or something that can aid the logistics industry, we will give you the best advice possible. We will help you to find the best resources possible. If we can help you find someone that can help you make that happen, we'll try to do that too as well. And that's what we do here. That's what our network, that's what the Logistics Learning Center is all about. So with that being said, we also attempt to show you all by example. We try to practice what we preach. As you all know, as I told you all earlier this week, I have been in talks with a artificial intelligence software development firm, and they have created and they are making some program adjustments to an AI that they are going to let our network have exclusively, which means that you can only get it if you're with our network. Our network will be the only ones using it for a good period of time. It's probably going to be about a 4 or 5 year contract. So, and this new AI is going to just completely automate the dispatching and the brokering process. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that owner operators will be able to get this thing and cut out brokers? No, it would not be available to owner operators. So owner operators, don't get mad at me. Okay, this is something that's not for you all. This is something that is for brokerage firms and it's for dispatch firms. But it will benefit you all because this new AI is just incredible. I'm not going to say too much more about it right now. I'm not even going to tell you the company that we're working with. I'm just going to leave it at that to let y'all know that it is coming, and it is coming very soon. And when you all get a hold of this thing, it is going to blow you away. It is going to, when I say streamline the process, I mean streamline the process. A lot of stuff you used to do yourself manually, this new AI would do it for you. So we'll leave that at that, and we'll discuss that at a later time. All right. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Great.
Feeling amazing.
Feeling flying high.
All right, great. Let's hear y'all's voices now. You know, I get lonely when I don't hear y'all's voices. All right. So today we're gonna quickly go over some of the stuff for the new people, and for the most part today, it's gonna be Q&A because I realize that y'all have a lot of questions. Okay, and a lot of times we don't get a chance to do a whole lot of Q&A at the end of our weekend training session because we have so much stuff that we go over, and by the time next thing you know, we look up and it's 12:30 and we got to come to a close around about 1 o'clock. So today we're going to devote most of this time to Q&A. But before we do that, we're going to have a quick review for these new people. We got a lot of them that has come in, a lot of them. So let's go over this real quick. If you are new, when you first get your enrollment packet, your new members packet, it outlines some things that you need to do. Okay, it's gonna have included in it your link to your orientation video on YouTube, and this is what the orientation video looks like when you get to YouTube. Hope you all can still see my screen. And can you all still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great. So when you get to YouTube, you're gonna look at the orientation video. And this is the one that it's gonna take you to. It's gonna take you to this one right here that says best choice. Okay. That's the orientation video I'll take you to. That's probably the latest one we did. That's the orientation Monday 7.0. So it's gonna take you to the best choice one. Now, it's gonna tell you in your packet that when you finish watching your orientation video, it's going to tell you to click the show more button underneath the orientation video. Now that show more button, a lot of people can't seem to find it, but there is the orientation title. There is the number of views that this has gotten. There is our YouTube channel. Here are some of the instructions, and right down here, y'all see that? That's where the show more is. Okay. Now, if you are on a phone or an iPhone or something like that, it won't say show more. Over here somewhere, you will see a little arrow pointing down and an arrow pointing up. That's like a little drop down arrow. So if you're on a phone, you're going to click that arrow button. It's going to pull up a drop down. If you're on a tablet or a computer, you're going to click show more, and it's going to open up. When it opens up, you're going to see some instructions. Then you're going to see a double line. Everything below the double line, that's just branding material for to let people know who we are, what it costs, and that type of stuff. But this stuff that's above this double line, those are your instructions. And the instructions as follows. First, after watching the entire orientation video, first proceed to that link. And if you click that link, what does it take you to? It takes you right over to where? Our back office site, the National Dispatchers Network. Okay? Now, don't just click that and then never go back and read the rest of the instructions, because that's what a lot of you are doing. A lot of you are seeing this and you're clicking it and you get so caught up in doing that, you forget to go back and do the second part of this. Okay? It says read that. It says go there, and it says once there, enter the dispatcher tools and resources and create your back office account login. And what they're talking about, when you go over here to your dispatcher tools and resources, when you click on this more button over here, it drops down. The first thing you see is dispatcher tools and resources. Now, when you click that, if you're not a member, it's going to ask you to do what? Log in, or it's going to ask you to create an account, right? If you're new, create an account or sign up. That's what you're going to do. You're going to sign up. Now, it's very important that when you do sign up, you must use, because the instruction says over here, note, you must use your enrollment email address as your username to gain approval to access the back office site. Now, the reason why you have to do that, because our site is a secure back office location. Everything that's past this point right here, everything that's under this more section, that's all secure information. If you're not a subscription paying member, you will never get access to that back office stuff. Okay, because we have a lot of stuff back there. A lot of stuff, a lot of tools, resources, passwords, all that type of, everything is back there. So y'all can get into the load boards, y'all can get onto the SIC code site and search for the shippers. Y'all can have access to all our documents and contracts. All that stuff is back there. And if you're not a member, you're not going to get back there. Okay. The reason why is because it's secure. Okay, and that's the stuff for our subscription paying members only. So when you get here, read these instructions. Okay, make sure you use your enrollment email address, because when you submit that, an intern somewhere here in Florida, or right now they could be all over the country right now because they're not at the schools, they're at home, but they're still engaged. Excuse me, they're still engaging in the intern process online. One of the 3 universities here, they just log on and they go in and they complete work to get credit. So that's what they're doing. So one of the interns, they will go in, they will see the submission, right? And one of the first things that they have to do is verify you. So what they're going to do is they're going to copy and paste your email into our Square system, and it's going to pull up and see if you do indeed have an account with us. If you did indeed enroll, because every person that enrolls must share their cell phone number and their email address. And that email address is going to be your enrollment username email address. That is how we're going to identify you each and every time. So when they go back and put that in the Square, and if it says no account for that email address, guess what? They're going to not approve you. They're going to send you something saying that this area is a secure back office area that's only accessible to our enrolled members only. The email address you have presented does not match any of the enrollments within our system. Please share your enrollment email address, or if you're not enrolled, it tells you how to enroll. All right, so that's that. All right, so make sure you all follow those instructions to the letter. Now, the second part of this goes into telling you down here, and a lot of you are forgetting to do the second part. It says, second, proceed to Facebook and send an inbox request to the following profile. The link gives you the profile. When you click on it, it takes you right over to my private Facebook page. Okay, you're gonna know it's me. Why? Because you're gonna see, my profile. You're gonna see a picture of me and my wife right there, in our nice little wedding stuff. We took pictures after the wedding and things like that. Yeah, she's such a beautiful woman. But y'all gonna see us right there, and y'all gonna see, some stuff in the background, and it's gonna say.
Are you showing your screen?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything. No, I'm only seeing you.
Can everybody see my screen, but not her?
I can see your screen.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what you got going on, but everybody else can see our screen.
Okay.
I don't know what else I need to do. But you're gonna see that right there where it says RBBS Logistics Training. That's how you know you had the right profile. Now, if you're at one of my other profiles, which I have many, you're in the wrong place. Okay, you have to be at this one that says RBBS Logistics Training. Now, my profile picture might change, my background picture might change during the future, but right now that's what it is. But this won't change. It's going to say RBBS Logistics Training. Okay. So if you're at that profile, that's where you need to be. All right. Now, and the reason why I have several profiles because this is my business profile. This is where I share all my business stuff. I basically only friend people on this profile who are associated with the industry or associated with some type of business that I am interested in or something that I am dabbling in or something that I am involved in. Okay. I try to keep this this page right here filled with business stuff. I'm usually that and some political stuff because I am heavily, involved in politics. But I try to keep this filled with some business stuff or stuff that's pertaining to, the business lifestyle and stuff of that nature. So, I talk to a lot of people, and this is that page that I use now. A lot of you have been trying to friend me, and as you can see, my friends list is pretty packed. You only get 5,000. I usually keep about 40 spaces left over. Right now I'm at 4,963. I try to keep about 30 or 40 spaces left over in case, I run across someone that I'm trying to do business with and I need to add them in, or if somebody sends me a proposal and I like what they have and I want to take a closer look at it to see if we're going to do a joint venture on or something, then I'll add them. But for the most part, I don't take in very many people outside of that. Now, every month, I do have a block party. Okay. And the way I do my block party, I usually block of 100 people every month. It's nothing personal. Nothing personal. Don't take it personal if you get blocked. But I'm usually blocking people who are not talking about business or people who are talking about stuff that really, really, really just off the wall. If you're one of those conspiracy theorists that, thinks that 5G is going to scramble your brain, you're probably going to get blocked at some point in time. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're one of those people, believe what you want to believe. Okay. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not telling you what to believe. If you believe that the whole coronavirus is a government plot to cut down the population, at some point in time, you might get blocked. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Because I don't believe that and I don't follow that. I'm too busy working on problems to solve within the industry and to make this network better and to help people within our network to become more financially stable and to ensure their financial health. Those are the things that I concentrate on. Those are the things that I believe in. Those are the things that gets my attention and deserve my focus. If it's not that, then it's not deserving of my focus on this page. Now, if you want to go to one of my other pages, there's all kind of crazy stuff on there. All kind of people, not saying that you all are crazy. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff on there. A lot of views, a lot of, mentalities, a lot of everything. But this right here, I try to keep it as business as possible or as straightforward as possible. Sometimes I'll share, stuff that me and my family is doing to kind of give people a look in the lifestyle that this type of industry and this business can bring to you. But I don't buy into a lot of the other stuff that people buy into, and I try to keep it very real world based. So, with that being said, I'm not telling anybody what to believe. I'm not telling anybody how they should conduct their lives or anything like that. I'm just saying, as far as this network is concerned, and as far as what we share on here, and as far as who I let in, there are some restrictions. So, but there you go. Okay. So, but I do have a block party every month. I block 100 people. If you're into the butt shaking videos, I'm probably gonna block you. If you're into just stuff like that, this page is probably gonna block you. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add people who are doing things that I consider to be positive business wise and who I perceive as moving forward and trying to better their financial health and better their situations. And if they have positive stuff that they're putting out, that's the stuff that those are people that I'm gonna friend, because that's what I like seeing in my timeline. Okay, hope that makes sense to everybody. All right, but there you go. All right, now once you get on this page, just shoot me a message. Go to your messenger, copy and paste my my profile address into your messenger, click on it and send me a message. Please add me to your private chat group. My enrollment email address is. That's all it is. When you do that, guess what? Again, someone will see it. They will cross-reference it with your enrollment to make sure that you are indeed enrolled. And then they will send you a copy of the chat group rules. Now, this is a private chat group, so there are rules. And one of the biggest rules that we have in this chat group is please do not post stuff that does not have to do with the logistics industry. Don't send me all that, a whole bunch of stuff. Don't start posting stuff in the chat group that has nothing to do with the logistics ministry. Now, again, I am a very spiritual person. I wouldn't say religious because I don't believe in religion, but I do believe in God. I do believe in God. I am not the heathen that a lot of people think I am because I tell them don't post that stuff in my chat group. Okay, that's not who I am. I'm not a heathen. I do believe in God. But I think that it does not belong on that chat group, within a business chat group, within a logistics business chat group where we are trying to get people to learn how to do this industry. Okay, there are plenty of other places that is appropriate. It's not appropriate in this chat group, though. I do not believe in the theories that the government is trying to kill us all. There are plenty of other places that is appropriate, but it is not appropriate in our private chat group. I do not believe in all these, preachers and everything saying that, don't take the vaccine when they create it because it's just a way for Bill Gates to kill you. There are plenty of other places for that stuff on Facebook, but it does not belong in this chat group. Now, if you are a member of this chat group and you post that, the first time you do it, you will be suspended from the chat group for about a week. The second time you do it, you're going to get a 30-day suspension, and you're also going to get a 30-day suspension off of the back office site. So you won't have access to your back office tools and resources, and that affects your business. Now, you say that's kind of a scream. No, because when you post stuff like that, you're interrupting the network's business. Okay, don't mess with our business. We won't mess with your business. Plain and simple. The third time you do it, I'm going to politely let you know that you are expelled from the chat group completely. Okay, I'm not going to expel you from the business, but I'm going to expel you from the chat group, and that's a permanent thing. You won't get back on that chat group because you had 3 chances. So, if you do it the third time, that means that you just either hard-headed or you just don't understand or you just trying to be, rebellious. So that's just how it is. We have to have rules. We have to have guidelines if we're going to keep order. Okay. So that's just the way it is. That's how it is. There's no leeway about it. There's no wiggle room. That's all there is. Okay. Keep the stuff in the chat group. I mean, you can have fun and keep it jovial, but don't post stuff that has nothing to do with logistics or with the industry and trying to better the industry or trying to better our network and things of that nature. All right. Now we have that done. Now, once you all have done that, one of the first things that I want you all to do, if you are a new member, one of the first things that you should be doing is when you get into this back office site, okay? When you get here into this back office site, I want you all to watch this video first. Don't start calling up carriers if you don't know the pitch. Don't start calling up carriers if you have not taken the time to review the training videos. Don't start calling up carriers if you haven't come to your back office site and watch this video first. See right here where it says start with this video? Please, 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 everyone. When you're first starting out, start with this video. That's why we put it right at the top of the back office site, because we want y'all to watch this, the entire video. If you need to watch it twice, watch it twice. If you need to watch it 3 times, watch it 3 times. I would advise you to take notes, because this video is actually a private consultation with the consent of the person who we're doing the private consultation with. This is a video of that person basically wanting to know how to get started, how to operate the tools and resources in the back office, where to find things at. So this is a very, very essential and helpful video that you need to watch first before you start just going through here and trying to do stuff and things that you really don't understand yet. Okay, at least get an understanding of where everything is and what it does by watching this video. Okay, also please do not try to come back into this back office and start doing stuff if you have not watched the complete orientation video. I know some of you all will say, well, I watched it, but then you ask me stuff like, where do I find the profile form? What? That's in the orientation video, and it's in this video right up here. Or you'll ask me something like, where do I find the script? Or how do I get onto the load boards? Where's the password to username? You always ask me stuff like that, but then when I ask you, have you watched the orientation video, or have you watched this video first? In the same breath, you tell me, yeah, I watched it. I mean, that no, I'm like Spock. That don't compute to me, because if you watch this, you should not be asking those questions, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. If you watch that, those very basic questions you should not be asking. You should know that already because you watch the videos, because it's there. I know it's there because I put it there. Okay, that's why it's there. So all I'm saying is take the time to take responsibility for your own success. That's a big phrase of mine. Okay, I have two very big phrases. Okay, do not make other people responsible for your success, and always take responsibility for your own success. Does that mean that people should not help you? No, that's not what that means. What that means is don't make people responsible for you learning the material and being successful. Because when it comes right down to it, that responsibility belongs to you. That responsibility is not even on me. My responsibility is to make sure you all have the tools, resources, the ongoing training, the support, access to the back office site, and all that type of stuff, and you can have private consultation, but I'm not responsible for doing the work. I had someone call me up, and asked me about loads, booking them a load. I said, huh? I said, okay. I said, you're in the chat group, right? Yep. You part of the platform, right? Yep. Why are you asking me to book you a load? That's not what we do. That's not how this works. Okay, that's not how this works. We put all this stuff in so you can learn how to book loads yourself. Now, you can ask me advice, but don't call me and ask me to book a load for you. I mean, that just threw me for a loop. I mean, it really did. I said, I don't see anywhere in our material that says that Calvin is going to book a load for you. I mean, check me if I'm wrong. Check me if I'm wrong. But nowhere in any of our 300 plus videos, in all of our training, all of the materials that we have out there on our Facebook page, nothing says that Calvin is going to book a load for you. It says that Calvin will give you access to all the tools and resources, access to more than 100 load boards, give you access to a federal government SIC code site that has more than 19 million shippers. Calvin will consult with you and tell you how to do stuff and help you, to put things in order. But Calvin will not do the work for you. I don't do that. And no one else should. Okay? So don't try to make me or anybody else responsible for your success. We'll do everything we can to assist you, but we will not do the work for you. Now, in our chat groups and in our network, you can collaborate with people and you can form partnerships where you all are working together, where you may be lacking in one area and they may be strong in that area, and they may be lacking in the area that you're strong in. So it makes sense for you all to combine together and work together, and you all share the dispatch fees. That's the purpose of creating the network. So you all can team up and work together. Now, also, if you are new, one of the things that you need to be doing before you start going through all this stuff here, this back office site, you need to go over to the video library. Okay? Go over to your video library. There it is right there. When you get to your video library, the first thing you're going to review, especially if you are a dispatch firm. Okay? If you are a dispatch firm, one of the very first things you need to review is the How to Dispatch series. There it is right there. How to Dispatch series. It's a series of 6 videos in order. It tells you everything from start to finish, the whole process of dispatching. How to locate the carrier, which is the very first thing you got to do is locate a carrier. Then it tells you how to pitch the carrier. You got to know what to say to the carrier. You got to know how to say it to the carrier to get them to do what? Sign your dispatch agreement. Then it goes into how to dispatch training, dispatch agreement, and carrier profile. Over here, you pitch the dispatch agreement. Over here, this is how you send them the dispatch agreement and how you get them to sign. You send them the profile and get them to fill out so you'll know what type of loads that they want. This is your contract, how to get that contract in place. Then it comes over here and it tells you what? Load management. Once you got a carrier on the contract, it tells you where to go and how to find loads. Okay? That's what load management is. And then the last thing it does after you after your load after your load management and getting the carrier to load, now you got to do what? After the carrier has ran that load, you got to do what? You got to get it back over to the broker and you got to get paid. That's what this handles. So it handles everything from start to find the carrier to getting paid, including how to create your invoices, where to create them at on Square. If you're going to sign up with Square, it tells you how to sign up with Square. It tells you how to create the invoices and shows you how to send it, whole 9 yards, and how to collect your money. Okay, so before you jump into that back office and just start doing stuff, and then you don't know what you're doing, and then you get on the phone, Calvin, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? How do I do that? Where do I find this? Where do I find that? Or you go to the chat group and say, hey, everybody, how do I do this? How do I do that? Where do I find this and where do I find that? Before you do that, okay, take a look at the stuff that we've already put in place that shows you how to do all that. Okay, so there it is, laid out for you. Those are the things you should do first. Now, after you've done that and you taking notes and stuff and you still having problems, book a private consultation. Book a private consultation, and I will go back and walk you through it step by step if that's what you need. All right? After you've done that and with this stuff right here, you still quite don't get it, come to the live training every Monday night, ask me a question. Every Tuesday night, ask a question. Well, Monday nights, you all are students training students. But on Tuesday nights, ask me a question. On Wednesday night, it's all Q&A. So please write down your questions and ask me questions. I don't know what you're lacking in unless you voice it to me, and then I can help you out with it. That's the whole difference between this platform and all the other platforms. Is this is continuous and it's interactive all the time. You all get to interact. And that means you asking questions and me trying to help you find the answers if I don't know the answer, because I don't know everything. But Google does, right? So that's a hint too. A lot of the stuff that you all are looking for, sometimes you can just go to Google and find it. Like if you say, what's a gooseneck? Or what's this? We have a back office library. We have a logistics library, but you can also use Google. Okay. All right. So, a lot of the stuff that you all are and simple stuff. Now the complicated stuff, I can understand. Yeah, I can definitely understand a lot of the complicated stuff. Like I'm having problems getting, carriers to send back their, the dispatch agreement. That's kind of complicated because then I gotta go into showing you how to do your follow-up and how to be effective at it. I gotta go in and actually give you tips and teach you how to become a salesperson. You're not gonna get that on Google. Okay, that requires that interactiveness that we provide within our platform. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. All right. Woo, that was a lot to say. All right. So today, I did promise you all today that we would do quite a bit of Q&A. So let's get started. I know you all got a lot of questions because we got a lot going on. So I know you all have questions. So let's hear your questions. Give them to me. We got a lot of time to answer questions. So today is the day to present them and get them out there. All right. Who's up
Calvin,
first?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I've been trying to, I've been kind of following what you said a couple of Saturdays ago when you were saying that a lot of people were getting in trouble with UShip and Central Dispatch because they signing up, but they're not really understanding, the technicalities or how serious they are with their screenings or whatever. and therefore people are having to get DOT numbers and so forth and so on. And so I joined UShip. I didn't join Central Dispatch because my business is a consulting company, and the name has been its name since April 19, 2010. Make a long story short, my business name doesn't have transport and logistics in it. And so I was trying to figure out, I am on UShip, but I was speaking with Darren. He said that, you know, that could end up being a problem because now UShip is becoming very technical as well.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to know from you what I was going to do was open up another business, and you know, and have a name with transport and logistics in it. But I want to know, is there anything I can do in the meantime? Because my profile reads that I am a consulting company, but we have a transport and logistics department that assists,
All right.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
stuff.
understand what you're saying. But how prominent is that, or how is that displayed on your website? Is that part of the first page of your website? Is it up front in bold like this is right here? Now, this is Darren's website.
Mhm.
You know, Darren's website is the model to follow, because his website is, in all intents and purposes, it's just about perfect when it comes
Mhm.
to what you're trying to relay to those two companies, to those two platforms. Okay,
Right.
you know, just his tagline alone, his slogan: "Pick it, secure it, run it." You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. You are a consulting firm, but if you're gonna go to Central Dispatch and UShip and operate, you probably should have created a new website before you did that. I'm just
Okay.
that's what you should have done. But there's nothing you can do about that now. So
Okay.
all you can do now is, first of all, get to work on creating a new website.
Okay.
And make sure that this one reflects some of the stuff that Darren has in here, where it goes in right away and lets everybody know that this is what he specializes in. This is what he does. Okay. Up here it says transport, logistics,
Mhm.
has logistics and transport. Okay.
Right.
You could put something there that says, you know, automotive relocation services, if that's all you want to do. If you don't want to do anything else but just automotive relocation service, or
Mhm.
automotive or automotive transport liaison. You know, use words like that that lets people know that you have a connection with that industry, but you are not, I repeat, you are not a carrier.
Well, I
You are
do.
liaison.
I
You are
also.
liaison. Yeah, you are someone that bridges that gap, and that's what Darren has done here. You know,
Right.
every part of his website kind of goes into letting them know that yes, he does. He is an expert in this field, but it also lets them know that he is not a carrier.
Right.
And
Right.
that's why he has few problems with those two networks. Okay.
Let me ask you this. So I also dispatch loads for carriers as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I have some sub dispatchers that work with me. So I definitely would need to, you know, whatever the
Oh
name
yeah,
is, it would
yeah.
need to kind of speak to both of those.
You definitely need to create a new website. You definitely need to either revamp your existing one or create an entirely separate one, and that's the one that you should be using when you are redirecting people to find out who you are and what you do and how you do it. Okay.
Now, one more question. As far as UShip is concerned, when I create my new business, am I able to update that information and just
You
put
can. Yeah,
mission
you
in?
can go in and update stuff. So you can go and update it. I would not attempt to try and make bids on stuff until you've done that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And make sure that you are very, 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 very clear on your disclosure of compensation statement
Yes.
with Central Dispatch. Make sure,
Me and yeah,
yeah,
Darren kind of.
yeah, make
I
sure,
was speaking with Darren, and he kind of gave me a couple of tips on that.
yeah,
You know.
because you don't want those carriers to get an idea that you're going to pay them at the drop. You don't want them carriers, because you don't have the ability to do that simply by and that's just by the way that the inherent way that UShip does business. You can't pay them at the drop.
Right. Right.
So, you know, but you have to be very clear on your disclosure of compensation statement that you put on Central Dispatch. And I would even go so far to put it on your website too, where people can pull it up. And I would even go so far as when the carrier calls you and tells you, I want that, I want to pick up that car, or I want to pick that up. You go over it with them verbally and you record that conversation. Now, for those of you that want a great app, because we've started incorporating this on our we've started to incorporate this with our logistics platform. When people sign up, the first thing, because we require you all to put your cell phone number and your email. If it does not have your cell phone number and your email address when you sign up, we won't deposit that money. We'll send you a message telling you, hey, you're missing a cell phone number or you're missing an email. The reason why is because now we actually call people back when they first sign up. First thing we'll do before we even transfer funds or anything, we'll call them up. How you doing, Mr. Johnson? This is Calvin Butler with the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. I was calling you because you recently signed up for our platform. Yes, I did. Well, I just want to inform you that this is a quality assurance call, and this call is recorded for quality assurance. And they acknowledge, yes, okay, great. I see here you signed up at such and such date, such and such time, and you signed up for such and such platform. Great. Did you receive your new members welcome packet yet? Okay, great. Be sure and look for that new members welcome pack, because it is a very large email, and most servers will send it to your spam mail. All right. So we actually call them back and go over what to expect next. And that conversation is recorded. And a great app for that recording that information, it is called, where is that here? I've got it here on my thing here, because I use it all the time. It's right here on my first page. There it is. It's called Call Recorder. I don't know if y'all can see this, but there it is right there. All you do is you punch in the number you're calling, and then you click where it says call and record. And then it will give you a beep, and then you basically merge the call, and then you go into your spiel. Okay? That's it right there. Okay, that will save you a whole lot of headache going down the road. So if you've got a carrier, and this was great with carriers, because a lot of times you're going over stuff with them, and they'll swear, "Oh, you didn't tell me that." Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Wait, and hold on just 1 minute, sir. Click it. That is your voice, right? That is you, right? Now there's no disputing that. You understand what I'm saying? And you can download it and send it any way you want to send it. So if you have a carrier that files a complaint against you, let's say with UShip or Central Dispatch, and they're saying that, well, you told me that I get paid at the drop, but you got a call with them recorded saying when you were advising them of your compensation disclosure form and the disclosure. So when they get a report saying that you didn't handle that with them, or if you're not paying them when they said you were paying, you just shoot that over to UShip and shoot it over to Central Dispatch. Okay, that brings a close to that proceeding right away, quick, fast, and a hurry. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Does everybody understand what I'm saying there?
Yes, sir.
Because the bottom line is you must protect your business at all times. Protect your business, okay? And if you want to take it a step further, I would even say, well, we're going to shoot you a copy of this disclosure of compensation. Please sign it and return it. Not you covered all your bases. Now, some people say, well, did you got to do all that? No, but you might want to do all that. You understand what I'm saying? Because, because you can never be too careful nowadays. The world is starting to realize that, you can never be too careful, because the thing that could happen just might happen. And if it does happen, you might want to be prepared for it, especially in business. Okay?
Hey, I had another question, Calvin.
Yeah.
I know that you were saying that, on UShip, we should only bid on stuff that's 1,800 and above, especially if you're new. But with what's been going on with the coronavirus, a lot of stuff is not, those amounts are not frequent anymore.
I understand
What
that.
would, what would
I
you
understand that.
suggest? What would you suggest now? Is there any
I was
other?
I was just look deeper. Check all the southern states. Don't just deal in one area, because
Right.
look, the reason why you don't want to start doing it now, Darren can do that because Darren has
Season.
not just season. Darren has carriers in his back pocket.
Right. Right.
Now, how did Darren get those carriers in his back pocket? Because Darren had he got a reputation on Central Dispatch for paying more than what those carriers usually get. Now, how does he pay more than what those carriers usually get? Because he started out bidding on what? Nothing less than $1,800.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if he bid at $1,800 on a bid that was $3,200 or $3,500 or that was $4,000, he cut it in half to $2,000, right? And let's say he win that bid, right? So now he's got $2,000. What does Darren do? Does he go and try to keep $1,000 and post it on Central Dispatch for $1,000? No, he'll post it on Central Dispatch for what? $1,500 and only keep $500. You see, because he's always giving them the lion's share of the profit. And those guys are not used to seeing that kind of money originating out of the South. So if you were bidding $1,800, right, or if you're bidding on a $1,800 bid and you cut it in half to $900, right, and you go on to Central Dispatch and you post it on there for $700 or $650, that's great money to those guys, because the guys that leaving out of the South, they used to seeing what, $150 a car, $250 a car, $300, maybe $350 a car. But you just posted $600 a car, or $650, or $700.
Right.
So every time they see you come on there, oh, this guy paying. DZR paying. Let's grab that. When they see your stuff on there, they taking notice. So Darren has gotten to the point now where he's posted so much stuff like that by following what? The strategy.
That's right.
Carriers started calling him up and saying, hey, I like the way you do business. Is there any way that we can connect with you directly instead of going through Central Dispatch? Anyway, we can connect with you direct. Now, Darren is not violating any code of ethics with Central Dispatch, because he didn't call them, they called him.
Right.
They say, anyway, we can sign up with you directly. And in a lot of cases, they'll tell, well, we got 3 or 4, haulers, and I like the way you do business, so we'll keep 1 or 2 available just for you all the time. So if you have something, you just call us direct, and we'll jump right on it. Now, Darren has been so successful in that he's gotten carriers to call him just from all over the Mason-Dixon line, everything in the South, where he got a bunch of carriers that have contacted him, and he has a lot of carriers in his back pocket. So when he has carriers in his back pocket, yeah, he can afford to bid on stuff less than $1,800, because he can go to the carrier and say, hey, I got a load that needs to go right now. So I can pay you, $400 on this one, because he may have bid at what, $600. You see what I'm saying? I can pay you $500 because he may have bid at $700. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot less than whatever than what everybody else bid, but it's still more than what that carrier is used to running. But Darren has them in his back pocket, so he has quick, fast, and a hurry availability to his carrier network. But you only get that by building your reputation, and you build your reputation by sticking to the strategy, because the strategy is designed to make you look like a high roller on Central Dispatch when everyone else is just lowballing.
Let's talk about your other strategy, calling up the used car lots, right? Because in my situation, that might be better for me at this time, since I'm not all the way set up on UShip and got the website and all of that. Or is that still going to end up being an issue for me, which I'm working on as we speak?
No, that would be a good area to operate, but your negotiation skills better be top notch.
Right.
Because look who you're dealing with.
Yeah, used car sales.
Yeah, you're dealing with used car dealers.
Right.
All right. And look, them guys will eat your lunch. Them guys go to sleep dreaming about negotiating. They're negotiating from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep. They're always negotiating. I know, because I used to be a car salesman.
Well,
right?
you know, I've been into negotiations for a minute too. It's just
Okay.
knowing the territory. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I hope you do because look,
Right.
them guys will chew you up and then go with their buddies. Hey man, let's go laugh about this guy I just chewed up.
So what would you suggest for somebody like myself, you know, who's new to this field of the you know, this line of work as far as that part is concerned, calling up used car salesmen, because you gave a strategy on how to
Yeah,
kind of address that as well, even if
yeah,
you do.
yeah. Just be a pest,
Mhm.
but bother the hell out of them. Because
Right.
look, that's 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 how that whole strategy works. Okay, you're gonna go to Google and you're gonna pull up used car dealers and put in whatever city you want to put in. There's used
Mhm.
car dealers in there. I don't care. You can put in what's somebody name me a small hick town, just a small backwaters town.
Beaufort, South
Augusta,
Carolina.
Georgia.
Hold up.
Angie, Louisiana.
Who?
Angie, Louisiana.
ANG
IE.
ANGIE
IE.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Because you don't get no more backwoods than that.
Okay. LO. Let's go. Louisiana.
It had came up in your search for us.
Yeah, Louisiana. That's it right there. Look, you got used car dealerships there. A whole bunch of them. I don't care where you go, there's used car dealerships.
Right.
And if you put in on Google, used car dealers in Angie, Louisiana, you know, that's way off the grid. Okay?
Right. Right.
That's way off the grid. It's going to give you a map of where they're at, and it's going to give you a list of all of them.
Can I
Now,
ask you one quick question about
sure.
that? Now, we approached a couple of them, and they was like, "Oh, you know,
I know.
my mama and daddy, they do it for $100."
I know. Exactly. We already got
Right.
somebody and they do it for this. I understand that.
How
But
would you close that?
But if you watch my strategy on that, you're not worried about that. Because
Right.
you're not trying to close them right then and there. Because you're not going to close any of these right on the spot. Here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to pick the first one, right? And when you pick it, you're going to pull it up. It's going to give you the number and everything. And you're going to call them up. You know? And you're going to ask to speak to who? The sales manager or the what? The general manager. Or
You said
who's in
sales
charge?
manager or who?
The sales manager or the general manager, or you ask who's in charge of your the pickup of the cars from the auction. Okay, they're gonna say, oh that's JC. Hold on, I get him on the phone for you. Hey, Mr. JC, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? My name is Calvin Butler. You don't know me, but I am with RBBS Transport LLC, and we specialize in moving cars. Now, I know you got a lot of cars that you buy from the auction, and I like to talk with you about. I'll help you make that happen. Well, you know, Calvin, we already got somebody that does that. You know, my cousin does that. He does it for about $100 a car. I understand. So, like I said, I'm not trying to take your cousin's place, but sometimes, you know, your cousin might be busy or something might happen and the truck might be broke down. And if that happens, I tell you what, give me a call and I'll be glad to. As a matter of fact, don't even worry about it. How about I call you back at another time and see if you have anything for me? All right? All right, I'll talk to you later. Get off the phone. Go to the next one. Do the exact same thing. Get off the phone. Go to the next one. Do the exact same thing. Get off the phone. Go to the next one. Do the exact same thing, and so on and so on and so on. Now, that's on Monday. On Tuesday, you're going to go to Mobile, Alabama. And you're going to call that on the list, in Mobile or wherever else you're calling. It can be Tallahassee, Florida. It can be Los Angeles, it can be Hollywood. It can be wherever. But you're going to pick a different car dealer. You're going to pick a different city and start calling that dealer. So on Monday, you call where? Angie, Louisiana, right? On Tuesday, you're calling Tallahassee, Florida, right? On Wednesday, who are you calling?
Texas.
Augusta, Georgia.
No, you're calling Angie, Louisiana again on Wednesday. And you're going to call them in the same order, and you're going to pick about the same time that you called them before. So you're going to call this guy back at SNR. Hey, JW, how you doing? This is Calvin again. I was just calling to see if you got anything for me. Well, no, Calvin, like I said, we got to. Okay, I understand. I'll give you a call back some other time. Get off the phone. That's all you're doing. You're pressuring the hell out of them because after about the second week, the third week, they hear that phone ring at 9 a.m. Somebody gonna say, "Oh, that's Calvin from RBBS," right? So you may go a few weeks without even hearing anything from them. They may tell you the same thing every time you call. Hey, like I said, we got somebody. I understand, but you pester them so much they know who you are. So when Billy Bob, his cousin, truck number broke down, and he got 30 cars at the auction, he need moved, and they need to be there by Wednesday, and it's Monday. When you call at 9 a.m. on Monday, what's gonna happen? Man, I'm so glad you called.
Right.
You understand? Or when Billy Bob truck breaks down and he got nobody to pick that load up, he gonna say, "Well, shoot, call Calvin. He called here every doggone Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 o'clock."
All I got, I've been nagging them.
Exactly, and that's your way in. That's your way in. And then once you get in, you in.
So,
see, that's
So what
because
would
look,
be your price point you'll hit them with?
depends on how quick they gotta have the car. Because now you in control. Billy Bob, he ain't available. So that $100 bullshit is out the window, right?
Right. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. Billy Bob, he ain't available. So he says,
Now,
okay,
Kyle,
yeah.
before we do all that, we gotta have carriers already ready to go, right?
No, you don't. You got central dispatch.
Oh, yeah, true.
all us ain't on central dispatch.
I understand that, but that's what I mean. That's why you do this in combined with central dispatch.
Right.
This is
I got what
you
you
still
said.
got to have either central dispatch to do this, or you got to have you ship and central dispatch to combine those two. But you need central dispatch to do this. Now,
We got so far in the conversation, I forgot about central dispatch for a minute.
Yeah, because that's what central dispatch is there for. Now,
right.
But y'all got some in the back. We got some in the back office too, though.
Well, you can go to them too. Okay, because
Right.
there is an auto hauler's locator in the back office.
Right.
Pull it up in that state, call them up, say, "Hey, I got a guy that needs some cars moved." But central dispatch is probably your best bet, though.
Right.
But why? Because now you don't have just one car that needs to be moved, right? Because chances are, if it's a dealership, they're going to ask you to move 10, 12 cars at a time. Why? Because 40%, 60% of the inventory comes from where? The auction. They don't get that many trade-ins. I guarantee you, these little backwater car dealerships right here, they're selling 200 cars a month. And some of the big here in Tallahassee, used car dealerships sell 600-700 cars a month. Go to some of the bigger cities, they're selling over 1,000 cars a month. They ain't getting that many trade-ins. They're gonna get about 60 to 100 cars per week from the auctions. So that means when they tell you that they got a pickup, like if here in Tallahassee, I got a pickup in Fort Lauderdale, you can bet that's the auction. I gotta have, it's 30 cars. I gotta have them all here by Monday or by Tuesday. It's Saturday. Now, if it's on a Monday and they say I gotta have them by Wednesday, then you can hit them with a higher price. Why? Because it's supply and demand, right?
So going back to your price point, what was because I remember one time you were saying like maybe like 150 per car or something like that.
Yeah, because you got more cars to move.
Right.
When you are a new ship, you're only moving 1 or 2 cars. Right? So if you call up a carrier with 1 or 2 cars, you got to offer him more than $150 to $200 a car. But if you call up a carrier, you got 30 cars, that's going to require him to make 2 trips. You can break that down to $175, $200 a car off of the carrier. And you negotiate with the dealer to pay you $250 or $300 a car. Or the dealer comes back, yeah, but Billy Bob only charged me $100. Yeah, but Billy Bob's your cousin and he ain't available.
His truck broke down over there.
Right? Well, yeah, you're right about that, Kevin. All right, now look. If you tell me then you don't need these cars until Thursday or Friday, then I can cut you some leeway. But you need them by Wednesday, and it's Mondays. Right? Right. So that means I gotta offer a carrier something to make him take this load than all the other loads he got lined up. Right? You know what, Calvin? You're right about that. So what I'm going to need from you, I'm going to need at least $300 a car. Calvin, that's kind of steep, man. I understand it, but you make some steep requirements. See, this is what I mean by you got to be a negotiator, because them guys will eat your lunch. You got to be able to take control.
That's what they do at them.
Exactly. You got to be able to take control of that situation and stay in control. Because that's what I said. Yeah, you can use that strategy, but if you ain't a negotiator, you wasting your time.
Right.
Because they would get you. I'm telling you, they would. That's what they do for a living.
Yes,
I mean, a decent salesman makes almost $100,000 a year, and he don't do that by people just coming out laying down for him. Because he got 15, 20 other salesmen out there, and they all selling the same car, got the same inventory that he got access to. So it's a dog-eat-dog world when you're dealing with them car dealerships. So you got to be on your game when it comes to your negotiation skills. But you can make a ton of money. You get yourself one car dealership on your team, and if they moving 30, 40 cars per week off an auction, which is nothing when it comes to a car dealership, right? So if they're moving, let's say here, put up the old calculator here. If they're moving 30 cars a week, and if your profit is only, let's say, $75 a car, right? That's your profit. You might be paying the dealer, $175 or $200, right? And you just making $75 a car. That's $2,200. That's a bad take, now, is it?
What was I missed some about far as what was the example you gave as far as what you negotiated the cars for with the used car sale?
I'm just saying, if they tell you I gotta have cars, I got 30 cars that need to be moved, I gotta have them here by Wednesday, and it's on Monday, right? They're gonna say, what can I get those moved for? Well, I'm gonna need $350 a car. $350 a car? God, man, Billy Bob gonna charge me $100. Yeah, but Billy Bob's truck broke down and he your cousin. I ain't your cousin. I ain't your family. And I got trucks waiting.
Right.
And you got cars that need to be delivered by Wednesday. Now, if you tell me you need them by Friday, right, I cut you a break. Well, why can't you get them here on Wednesday? You get them here on Friday? Because the carriers that I'm going to, right, they got people already lined up. I gotta offer them something to offer them to take your load over somebody else's load. I gotta make yours a priority, right? Right. So you gotta make them a priority. I understand that $350 is a little steep, but talk to me. We can work. Well, and what were you thinking? Well, I was thinking more like shoot, 175. I can't do it for 175. I might be able to help you out for $300 a car. Man, you still way. Come on. Talk to me. You ain't said nothing that piqued my interest yet.
Right.
See, now you in control. Before you was calling them up, I was just calling to see if you got anything from them today. Well, no, I ain't got nothing for you. All right, well, I'll call you back later on. See, that's how the conversation went in the past, but now it's a whole different conversation, right?
You made him realize he needs you.
Exactly. That's why you do that pestering thing up front, and you ain't really pressuring them. You say, well, I'll give you a call back and see if you got anything for next week. You got the phone. The day after tomorrow, you call him back. The day after that, you call him back. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they know who you are now. That's that Calvin again. Call every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. One thing is he sure is persistent. And then when they get in trouble, who they gonna call? You. Because you're on the tip of their tongue. See, this is all strategy. You can't employ part of this and expect it to be successful, you have to employ the entire strategy. There's an entire strategy to anything you do, really. You know, especially when it comes to working in this industry on this side of the table. Okay, you have to employ strategy, and in order for the strategy to work, you got to employ every piece of the strategy. You can't say, "Well, I'm gonna take this right here, but that right there, I don't know if I can do that right there." But guess what? The strategy ain't gonna work that effective. Okay, because you took a chain out the link.
On something like that, you know how you was telling the guy at 300, he still, I mean, when he was saying you still too high, and you said you haven't said nothing to pique my interest yet. What would you say your bottom line would have been in that?
Well, my
scenario?
bottom line might not be your bottom line. That depends on, look, that depends on you, and that depends on the situation. All right.
Right.
The question you have to ask yourself is $50 a car your cut, which means if he says $250 and you offer the dealer you offer the carrier $200, is $50 a car going to be worth it to you? Now, if it's 8 cars, maybe not. If it's 20 cars, maybe so. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's going to depend on the situation. Now, you can also create a situation. You can say to him, well, Kevin, I got 9 cars that need to be moved, and I can't afford to pay no more than $250 a car. Man, you killing me. I tell you what, I'm gonna do something for you that I ain't never done for nobody. I do that $250 car, but I gotta have a written contract that says that I'm your guy for at least the next year.
Right.
Okay.
You see how you flip the script on it?
That's right.
Situation.
That's called being a negotiator. You got, like I said, boy, if you can't negotiate, these guys will tear you apart. They'll eat you up and then go have lunch, and laugh about you. I sure took that. I mean, I sure took him. Man, look here. That poor mother called me talking about $300 a car. Before you know it, he walking out there with $150 a car.
That's exactly what they do.
And I really paid Billy Bob $175. That's what they do to you. They ain't gonna tell you the truth about what they're paying Billy Bob. They just telling you that to try and get you off the phone.
One more question. Say, like right now, I'm not on Central Dispatch, but just like we network, we're a network of dispatchers. Somebody who is, I might be able to partner if I get that type of situation with a used car lot. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the whole point of having a network. Reach out to the network. I mean, that's what networking is, right?
Gotcha.
All networking is I got an opportunity. In order for me to take advantage of it, I need somebody else to help me out with it. And then everybody wins. Right?
And another thing, Calvin, you guys don't go making deals with the dealership or don't have carrier or you're not on Central Dispatch because
exactly
you only don't have a truck to move the car. Then
exactly. That's why
the situation.
That's why I say that's why I said in order for this to work, you got to be on Central Dispatch, or you got to have dealers in your pocket.
Yeah, but my question was, or what I just asked was, if I'm not and I'm calling used car lots, and I'm able to get a situation like what you just described, then reach out to say somebody like Darren who.
Yeah, I mean, you can always call up Darren and say, Darren, I got a guy that's got 40 cars that need to be moved up there, but don't call Darren with say I got 5 cars. You gotta make it work Darren's while now. right, Darren? Because Darren got a whole bunch of stuff he's dealing with that's making a whole lot more money. So don't call Darren up with a 5-car deal and say, hey, let's help each other out. No, he helping you out. You ain't helping him out.
Right.
Not with that. Now, if you don't work it out with the guy where you say, okay, this is a year contract and I can, we move at least, 20, 30 cars a week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Darren be all over that.
And most people running that.
Exactly. So there you go. But don't go to Darren with something, claiming to, to help each other out with really just helping you out. This is networking. not you working. I'm calling you
Right,
so you can
right.
work. No, it's networking. You both gotta get something out of it, and you both are putting something in.
Hey, Calvin,
Yeah.
I ran a load for a dealership a couple weeks ago, and the salesman actually texted me yesterday. So he have 3 more vehicles moved, and he's gonna confirm with me when he finish with the client. So
Yeah.
you have to try and build a relationship with these guys because they
Yeah.
will call you.
Yeah, and that's how it works, though. Because see, Darren has built his reputation now. That's what I mean by you stick to the strategy until your rep gets built. Then when your rep gets built, then you can kind of make some outside moves because opportunities start coming to you instead of you looking for opportunities. You'll be amazed that just like the thing with the AI, right? People they've been watching our platform for a while. They've been watching our platform, watching it grow, and these are people who are not even in the logistics industry, but they watched our platform, and based on how we are instructing you all, how much money you need to move your truck, our profile sheet for those that run more than 500 miles, how much money you need. For those that run less than 500 miles, how much money you need, right? And how much weight do you? I want to pull. I don't want to pull more than this is in. All right. So then they took our videos and training, and from that was their baseline model for creating an AI that could automate the system. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're doing great work, if you're putting in the work, you can bet people are watching. People are noticing, especially people who are on the other side of what you're doing as far as things that you're doing that's going to help people like that out. They're watching you and they're noticing. And before you know it, if you keep putting in work in the industry will start bringing opportunities to you. You no longer have to look for them. They will come to you.
Now, Calvin, I got a question. That program you're gonna be bringing in the next few months or whatever, how is it gonna is it gonna work with the auto hauling?
From my understanding, it's an AI, which means it does what? It learns, right?
Right.
So you can pretty much program anything into it, and it will learn it. That's how AI works. That's how artificial intelligence works. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't get too much into it right now. I mean, I just can't. Because, like I said, when they come back, they came to me with what they had. I looked at it. It was really, really great. But then I told them, say, look, well, here's what I think it really, really needs. And I gave them some more parameters on, give us this mode, that mode, make it more, widely, usable, amongst brokers and dispatchers. You know, I like to see this in it, that in it. And they went back to the drawing table and they've added some stuff to it. And then when they finish that, they'll come back to me. And then once that happens, I have the lead developer. They'll come on here and they will introduce it to you all. They would demonstrate it to you all, and then it would be available for you all to incorporate. Okay? And it's only going to be available to our network for about the first 4 or 5 years. And that's huge. That's huge. Not just for our network, but for you all as dispatchers and brokers. Because you'll be able to have something that no other broker or dispatcher will have access to. Right?
Right.
So you'll be able to work more effectively, faster, and more efficient than any other broker or dispatcher out there. Yeah. Brand this the right way, and shippers should be knocking down your door as a broker. Not you knocking down, you shouldn't have to go begging the shipper. The shipper's gonna be knocking down your door. Brand this correctly, and carriage will seek you out to work with you. I was saying how that works. And especially with you all also being our primary go-to for the agencies and the agents in the assurance day, that's just another add-on to the policy. You can say, look, for an extra $50 per month, in your policy, in your premium, we can add an automated dispatch service for you. So you ain't got to worry about finding, the 2 loads that matches this one, load. We'll take care of that for you. And just put the AI on it. Y'all got to start seeing the big picture. So I guarantee you, I'm looking at the big picture. Y'all starting to see how all this kind of comes together now?
Mm-hmm.
Calvin, I see the super picture on that one, what you just said.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the super picture.
And a super picture it is.
I said yesterday you can be able to run company.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me, we are going to be coming out with a series of branding videos that are going to be motion picture production wise. Okay. When I say motion, I tested it last night on, let me go to my Facebook page here. I tested it last night on I tested it last night on where is it at? Y'all see this right here? And I just did a little, a little family thing because y'all know that I got a website that I'm an affiliate with that does the protective the health protective gear, like the masks and the gloves and the sanitizers and all that stuff, right? So if you all go to my Facebook page, there's a video. Excuse me, if you have a conversation going on, please mute your mic. Who is that? All right, somebody is not getting the message here. See who that is. Somebody got their mic wide open and they slamming doors and having conversations and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's me. My bad.
Okay. All right.
I'm so sorry.
All right. As I mentioned before, if you all go and pull this up on my Facebook page, you all would notice that this is like motion picture. It's like motion picture style productions. Okay. But as you all can see, it's got like the nice motion picture background, kind of like a film production type thing going on. But we're going to be producing all of our new branding videos for the Assurance USA are going to be like way better quality. This is just something that I threw together with just some pictures and stills and stuff we did here in the house. But, imagine what this is going to look like with like all of the stuff we're going to be using for the Assurance USA and things of that nature. So if y'all get a chance to go to my Facebook page and just check that out, you all will see it. I'm going to put it on YouTube just so y'all can pull it up. But right now, it's not on YouTube. It's just on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you saying that you have access to that product right there?
To these products?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Monday at our consultation, we're going to talk about that.
All right, yeah, you can go to our Facebook page and just go to this link right here, and it'll take you right over to where you can order them right online. Now, the reason why I promote this company that I'm going through, because they don't price gouge. Everybody else is out there with the masks and stuff. They want to charge you $40 for a doggone mask. This company, you can get the real mask, the one with the filters, the whole 9 yards. You get the doggone thing for $6, $6, $7. Some as low as $3. You can get a pack, an entire pack of like 300 of the filter inserts for like $10. 300 of them. You can get.
So Dude and I also have a nonprofit, and we was gonna start raising up some money to get packs to the truck drivers because I understand.
Look, you get the stuff on here cheap. Okay, I mean,
okay,
their prices,
I'll talk to you about it, Monday.
their prices have not raised since before, during, or after, and that's why I promote them because you see these masks on Facebook, and somebody's making them and they want to charge you $20, $40 for the doggone thing. These are the real deal. masks, all types of stuff. Face shields. Y'all see those face shields there? Got a pack of 10 face shields for like $10. And they trying to sell them like $10 a piece. In some places. But and it's stylish. Y'all look here. My wife, she's sporting the hat. The hat and the shield come together. That was like $6 or $7. For a nice stylish hat. And it's a face shield that's built onto the hat. So, it's really nice stuff that you all can get, and it's not expensive, and that's what I like about it. It's not gonna take advantage of you as far as your price marks and things like that. Okay. But as y'all can see, I was just kind of demonstrating some of the stuff because my wife and I, we have an entire table that's our protection gear table. So we get packages, or when service people come into the house, we put the gloves on, put the mask on, we spray down the packages, we disinfect everything when he comes to the house. And we even got some of those UV lamps. Now I know the president says that if you shine the light of your body, it'll kill the virus. Or he didn't say that, but he just implied that. But those UV sterilization lamps, we have 2 of them, okay? They will sterilize your home. They will kill 95% of all germs and bacteria, and it does kill some viruses, even if the virus is on like the table, or somebody sneezes and gets on the table or whatever. It will neutralize it, but it is not going to cure. Okay, it's not going to cure you from the coronavirus. It won't do that. If the virus itself is on a surface, or if it's outside the body and is laying there, how when you sneeze or you cough and they say you don't touch stuff that people have sneezed on, or that's why they want you to wear your gloves and stuff, because they don't want you to touch stuff that people may have sneezed on or coughed on, and the virus itself will stay active for a few hours on certain surfaces. But the UV sterilization lamps will kill that on the surface, but it won't do anything for you if it's in your body. If you got it, it's not going to cure you. And doctors have already said you can't shine a light. If you put the light inside somebody's body, it's probably not going to be effective like that. It only.
Hey, Mr. Calvin.
Yeah, it only takes care of it when it's like outside on a surface or something like that. It's a good way to keep your house sterilized. We have 2. One, we turn them on at night before we go to bed. You don't run them during the day because it is a UV lamp. It's ultraviolet, so it could affect your eyes or whatever. That's probably what happened to my eyes the other day. That helped bring on the whole thing with my eyes being watering and red, because I was eating breakfast the other morning and I was playing with the UV lamp at the same time. Not a smart move. The UV lamp was sitting right there. I'm eating breakfast just playing with the dog on that. My dogs are getting up running out of the house, because when it comes on, it gives off kind of how hospital smells sterile. It gives off that type of smell too. I mean, it's really a neat little product. But I'm just sitting there just playing with the thing right there in front of it, So, but what we do is we turn it on at night before we go to bed. Everywhere the light can reach to, it will basically sterilize the room. And we're gonna order 2 more so that we can put them upstairs and sterilize, the upstairs area too, just to keep the house sterile and keep it free of germs and stuff like that. So, but even that, I've seen some online that people are trying to charge a couple $100 for, and I think the one that I got was like $29 or $39. I know they got some that's no higher than $59. So they're not even those are very expensive. And they got stuff like this right here, the thermometers, the ones that go on your finger, the heart things, all that type of stuff. You can get that cheap. This was like $2 or $3 or something like that. So, it's not expensive stuff. You know, and it's stuff that you're probably gonna need to keep yourself safe. But as we're talking here, but these are the type of videos and the branding videos that we're gonna be featuring for the Assurance USA platform. They're gonna be, you know, movie production style branding videos with the nice background music and the, you know, the production stuff here, you know, you know, all that type of stuff. So it's gonna be pretty nice. So you all are gonna like it. So all right. And it will be available, you know, all of the branding videos will be available to all the agencies and the agents. So you all will be able to share them and put them on, you know, different pages and stuff. You'll be able to share them on YouTube and even share them in commercials, because they're going to be just that that type of quality that you can contact, you know, a network advertising firm and say, hey, I want to use this for my commercial, and you just pay for the commercial and just send them that, and they'll use that as your commercial. You don't have to do any type of any more productions or anything else. Okay. Any more questions? Next question. What time is it?
I had a question, Mr. Butler.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. With when you say you bringing on agents once you get to a certain point, what is a nice way to, I guess, be able to keep up to make sure your agents are actually doing the work? How can you kind of check and balance that?
We're gonna have a system in place in our back office and things like that. You know, if an agent is not writing a certain number of policies, no, I mean, you're gonna have quotas. Like in any industry, you know, you're gonna have quotas. They have to make, you know, a certain number of phone calls. They're gonna have to write a certain number of policies, you know, to keep their commission levels up. You know, I mean, if you are writing, you know, less than X number of policies, then your commission is not going to be as high. If you're writing a higher number of policies, then you get a greater percentage, you know, in your commission and bonuses, right? You know, I mean, I don't. I mean, this is a completely different type of industry now. I was discussing something with somebody just yesterday, and we were talking about, is this going to be brick and mortar or just going to be where you can work from home? The world has changed. A lot of places that were brick and mortar are no longer brick and mortar anymore, and they won't go back to being brick and mortar. A lot of places that are going back to brick and mortar, they won't operate the way they did before. They're gonna have to operate differently. You know, gloves, masks. They're gonna have to screen people. Probably take temperatures before you come in. All types of stuff. I mean, the world has changed. Okay, nothing will ever go back to the way it was. It's not. So for all these people that's out there protesting, well, we want things to go back the way it was. That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. You know, because this thing is not just like the flu. I don't care what you heard or what you believe. It's not just like the flu. If this goes unchecked, it could wipe out almost half the population of the planet. Okay, flu doesn't do that. The flu actually has some type of treatment for it. Okay, yes, a lot of people do die from the flu, but they don't die like this.
Hey, Mr. Calvin.
Yeah.
I was at the VA the other day, and I was talking to my my PA, and he was telling me that we all got the coronavirus. It's the strand that's what's killing people in the testing. It's the actual COVID-19.
Yeah.
Like the flu, anything that's like airborne is considered a coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that the COVID-19 is just a different strand. This is not something that just popped up. I mean, coronaviruses have been around since the dawn of time. Mostly, it was transmitted from animal to animal, mostly felines, like big cats, lions, tigers, you know, kittens and stuff like that. It was mostly transferred from animal to animal, and mostly feline type of animals. But there are those occasions when stuff does jump. It jumped to a different species where it can be cross viral, where it jumps from an animal species to a human species. And this is one of those times where it has jumped from the animal world over into the human world. So and that's one of the things that makes this such a so different from anything else that we know about, because they don't know much about it. People know a lot about the flu. They got vaccines for the flu. They got flu vaccination shots. They got all types of stuff that's for the flu. Most of the people that die from the flu are those people who are ignorant to the fact. They don't get vaccinated. They don't follow, they don't want to take treatments. They don't want to do this. They think, well, I'm strong enough, I can beat this thing. This is that. If the deaths from flu wouldn't be as high as they were if people weren't so doggone stupid and thinking that they can just, not get vaccinated, not get the flu shot, not get this, not get that, not get this. Well, the vaccination is just a way for the government to plant something in you. Okay, well, take your government planting thinking behind on then. All right, but this thing is real, and it is killing people, especially killing people with underlying conditions. I heard someone say the other day, well, it's only killing people with underlying conditions. So people with underlying conditions don't deserve to live. Think about that statement. How stupid is that statement? That means anybody that has diabetes, anybody that has heart disease, anybody that has chronic bronchitis or chronic this or whatever the case may be, anybody that smokes, anybody that you're saying they don't deserve to live. Yes, it attacks those people more prominently. It attacks African Americans more prominent than anybody. 70% of the people who are dying from this are African American. That's something.
I got a question.
Yeah, that's something that we should all think about.
True. I got a question.
Yeah.
While dispatching auto haulers, do we have the ability to print up a bill of lading with the car carrier having to inspect the vehicles on the bill of lading and all that stuff?
A bill of lading is just a bill of landing, or a bill of lading is just a receipt from the receiving shipper. Now, if you're doing the auto hauling, you're not getting a bill of lading in the same layman's terms as you would with regular shipping. Because remember I told y'all before, the auto hauling ministry kind of has its own rules. It's not the same as the regular freight industry. It's not. Because you're dealing with car dealers, and when you go to a car dealer, I mean, you can request a receipt. That's all a bill of lading is. It's just a receipt showing that it was delivered and dropped on time and okay. All right. Car dealer's not going to send you something called a bill of lading. They're going to maybe issue a receipt. And a lot of times they don't even do that when the carrier drops the car, and they'll pay the carrier right there at the drop. You can tell the dealer, now when my carrier drops the last car, go ahead and give him a check for this amount of money, and I'll come pick mine up, or I'll send you my invoice for mine.
I'm talking about the inspection report and the contract being signed to.
Talk about on the cars, right?
Right.
You don't have all that 90% of the time on car deliveries. Even on U-Ship, when the car gets delivered, Darren.
Well, Calvin, the shipper, the carrier has that themselves. They do all the inspection on their. They have their inspection sheet that they mark if there's any scratches or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not. But that's not something that they send to you all the time.
No.
And most of them probably would never send that to you. That's just for their internal paperwork.
Yeah.
Because remember, auto hauling is not like the regular freight industry. It's not. They have their own set of rules. They operate totally different. It's almost like they're not even part of DOT. I mean, it really is. They're so far removed from all the other stuff that's going on in the freight industry that they're kind of like a separate thing all by themselves. Okay. That was one of the things that I used to tell y'all about. See, now when you're getting into the auto hauling, that's a different monster. It's completely different monster. Okay, because they have their own rules, have their own regulations, they have their own way of doing things that are not like the regular DOT guidelines. They even have a separate load board, central dispatch. You don't see auto hauls on the regular load boards. And you don't see anything on the auto haul load boards but auto hauls. Okay, on central dispatch, that was developed specifically for auto. Actually, it was first developed just for dealers and the auto haulers. That's it. But people like myself come along and they incorporate other things, and it's kind of expanded into private vehicles and that type of stuff. And you know what I'm saying? That's how the privatized vehicles got kind of pushed in with central dispatch, because you got people who were forward thinkers and started developing companies and businesses that dealt with privatized vehicles that kind of realized that central dispatch was a good place to operate.
Mr. Butler, do you suggest to someone just getting started to even get into the auto hauling? Is that like a prominent source of income in this thing, or?
It is a good source of income, but you got to know what you're doing. I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody not to do something. What I am going to tell you is, if you don't know what you're doing, you will make things worse for yourself, and you could make things worse for the industry and the platform. Okay, all I'm saying is that if you're going to get into the auto hauling, schedule a private consultation, because I need to make you aware of things. I need to have a detailed conversation. I need to have a very detailed and specific conversation with you about how you should operate within that side of the industry. Okay, because you will get yourself in trouble if you don't know what you were doing. And once they ban you from the site, that's it, right there.
Yep. Another thing, Calvin, I heard one of the guy was saying dispatching. There's a difference, two different things when you do dispatching for carriers, auto haul.
Yep.
The thing is, you use the strategy as far as finding car on U-ship and post it on central dispatch. And the other way is where you're dispatching for that carrier. Now, if you dispatch for that carrier, that's some work, because you have to stay there every single day to find that carrier load throughout the week, every day.
Exactly. Which means it would behoove you to work the car dealerships as much as you can to make sure you have a good, steady supply of cars that need to be moved.
And that's not
that's not easy.
Not a good way to start.
That's not easy. I'm telling y'all right now, it's not easy. Now, I never said that working auto hauler was easy. I said it was profitable if you know what you're doing. Right? It is very profitable. Darren can tell you it's very profitable if you know what you're doing.
Yes, it is.
Because when Darren first started out, he had some problems himself. And he used to call me every day. Hey, Calvin, I got this right here, man. I don't know what to do with this right now. And we've had some long conversations right there.
But a lot of more success stories being told with an auto hauling versus I hear from.
Well, that's not true. We just don't tell you about a lot of the people that got in there and got banned.
Yeah.
Because they were hard headed, and those people usually those people don't really stick with the program because they're hard headed to begin with. And secondly, they think they know better, or they think they've been. Well, I've been doing this for 30 years. It can't be that hard. Then they jump in, and then they get kicked off and booted off, and then get banned. Now they got a bad reputation. Nobody will work with them. That's why I'm telling you. If you go into the auto hauling, you kind of know what you're doing. Because if you don't, it could ruin your business. I mean,
would I go to schedule a private consultation?
It literally is either gonna break you or make you. Okay, look, I don't want to mislead anybody. I try not to. God knows I try not to mislead anybody, and I tell you all this all the time. You know, a lot of y'all hear the good stuff, but y'all don't hear the warnings. And a lot of y'all don't hear the warnings. Y'all hear it, but you don't listen to it. You know, I tell you all, auto hauling, you make a lot of money, and that's all y'all hear. Oh, I make a lot of money. But you don't hear the part where I say, if you don't know what you're doing, it will screw you up. It will ruin you. It will ban you from the site, and you would never get back on.
Right.
A lot of y'all don't hear me when I say that. Y'all listen to me, but y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all only hearing, oh, I can make a lot of money. which you can, if you know what you are doing, if you're following the strategy, if you're taking heed of my warnings, and you're doing, you're creating the type of website that Darren had, and you're being transparent with how you do business. Okay, because that lack of transparency will definitely get you in trouble. And you have to always protect yourself. That's what I mean by when you have a carrier that calls you up, you go over your compensation disclosure form. You record your conversation with the compensation when you are telling him about the compensation disclosure. Make it part of your spiel. Hi, this is such and such. I see here you've elected to take this load. Great. This is part of our what? Quality assurance, right? This is part of, get used to that. This is part of our quality assurance call. This call is recorded. When you lay that out of that, most people say, okay, great. Right? Because what they're recognizing, they're in their head, they're hearing quality assurance as if it's something that's going to benefit them. Actually, quality assurance is benefiting the company that's calling. Because they are protecting their own what? Behind. They are covering their own butt. That's all quality. That's what quality assurance really means. It ain't got nothing to do with helping the customer or what's called. It's got to do with the company protecting its own butt. Anytime you got a quality assurance call, what's first thing they ask you? I see here that you ordered what? I see here that, and you have to respond, which means you have what? Basically just admitted that, yeah, I ordered this thing. Right? That's all quality assurance is. It ain't got nothing to do with the customer. It has to do with protecting you. Okay? So, but use that. Because this is part of our quality assurance. This is our quality assurance call. As part of it, this call is recorded. And they say, okay, great. They've acknowledged it, then you can move forward. You know, and usually the first thing out of your mouth is, you know, especially if you're calling about the compensation thing, is you have been made aware of the compensation disclosure form. I'm correct? Yes. So you do understand that payment to you will be between 24 and 48 hours. Yes. Got all that on recording. And you're rehashing it with them to make sure that they understand it. Now it's legitimized. It's on recording. Okay. Now you're gonna receive an email with the quality assurance disclosure form. If you would please sign it and send it back to us. Great. Y'all see how that works? This is business. All right. This is business. And and I understand you all are doing it from home, but it does not make it any less of a business. You gotta start treating it like it's a business. I promise you. And Darren will tell you, and others will tell you, if you treat this like a business, it will pay you like a business, right there. But you gotta treat it like a business. You definitely gotta treat it like a business. You know? Now, if you treat it like a side gig, it's gonna pay you like a side gig. But if you treat it like a business, it's gonna pay you like a business. Okay. Any more questions?
I got another one. With getting started, I guess in my head, I'm trying to figure out, okay, besides going through the videos in the back offices and making sure I feel like I'm pretty confident with the pitch. I'm just trying to see as far as, okay, get my LLC website. Like I'm asking what are, after you sign up and get everything going and you're studying and you're doing the training, the next couple of steps, would it be your LLC, your website, and then start looking for carriers, or
Now you can start looking for carriers before you get your LLC. You just got to have your LLC done before you file taxes.
okay,
Okay, so now it depends on how you're um
deciding.
how you're incorporated. Now, if you are doing an LLC, you're going to do your taxes every quarter. Y'all notice? Y'all do know that's a new rule change, right? It actually changed
Right.
It actually changed 2 years ago. Okay, if you're an LLC, you must pay your taxes every quarter.
And Mr. Butler, when you say every quarter, you mean every 3 months or is it 4 months? Three
Every
months out of
quarter.
the year.
What does every quarter
Quarter.
mean, everybody?
4 quarters.
So every 3 months.
That's right.
All right.
There's 4 quarters to $1.
That's
That's
right.
every third month.
Every 4
Time you
quarters.
set up your business. All right. If you miss a filing, they hit you with a penalty. That penalty is hefty. I know, because I didn't realize the rule had changed. And that's why I'm paying a big penalty last year. Big penalty.
Mhm.
when you gotta write a check for like $70,000, well, that's a big penalty. I'll tell you right. You know, don't get me wrong, you make it plenty of money, but when you misjudge that doggone quarterly payment, and they hit you with a fine, and the doggone fine, the initial fine is like between 4 and 6 grand, and then after that, every day that it goes past being paid, you get a daily interest, not weekly, not monthly, but daily interest for every day that's past due. And I thought I was still able to do like I had always done, wait a year or wait a couple of years and then file on the third year. I was in for a rude awakening, So y'all gotta be careful with that now. All right. So
So what you
now
do
now if
every
you're
time?
filing S corp, then yeah, you can pay at the end of the year, or you can wait till the second, third year, whatever, and combine all the years together. But that's for an S corp, okay, not for an LLC. Now LLC, you got to pay it for quarter.
So that mean every time when you get paid from your carrier, whatever
Take
your
out,
profit is, you take out at what, 15%,
yeah,
15.1?
exactly. They got about 15.3%.
Okay.
On average, about 15.3%. You set that aside and put it in a separate bank account. So every quarter you pay your taxes out of that bank account. Now, does that mean you're gonna be paying all of that towards your taxes? Not if you're doing your deductions right. Right? If you're doing your itemized deductions and everything, you're taking out your itemized, deductions, and if you're claiming enough, deductions and all that type of stuff, you can lower your adjusted gross income. Right? So if your gross income was $150,000, $200,000, but you took out, operating expense, and when you're working from home, you got a lot of operating expenses that you can claim that y'all may not realize. You can claim up to 30% of your utility bill, 30% of your mortgage or your rent, 30% of take the space. If you say you're operating in, at least what, a quarter in the space size of your home, I think they allow you to deduct up to half your home. If I'm not mistaken, whatever the space you're living in, you can have up to almost half of that as your business space. So it depends on what your bills are. You can deduct, 30, in some cases, almost half of your bills. Your car expenses. Yes, it's your car, but it's also your business vehicle. You can fuel, insurance. You got a car note, you can take some of that off too. Maintenance, all that type of stuff. That comes into play. The food you buy, in the house, right? Yes, it's coming in the house, but it's also feeding you during business hours too, right? So guess what? You write a certain percentage of that off. Just there's all types of deductions you can take. Clothing. Why? Because you don't sit there and do business naked, do you? You wear clothes when you do business, right? So if you buy clothes, anything you bring in can be can be contributed to, or a portion of it can be contributed to your business expenses. Okay, so if you're doing the right deductions, you can have a $200,000 gross, but your adjusted gross could be all the way down to $75,000 by the time you finish. Therefore, you're not paying as much taxes as you thought you were going to have to pay, right? Because your taxes are based on your adjusted gross income. Okay, so get with a. I mean, it's a good idea to hire yourself a nice, tax person who not one of these, people, that do taxes on the side. I'm about a real tax professional, someone who knows about the itemized deductions and how to properly file things and do all this type of stuff. Not somebody who's going to go in on what's the thing called? Somethingtax.com. They got to go in there and get on that and do your taxes for you. No, not that type of tax person.
Tax Slayer.
Yeah, somebody that's gonna go on Tax Slayer and file your tax for you, and they're gonna charge you a couple $100 for filing your tax on Tax Slayer. No, that's not a tax person. Get yourself a real tax person, someone who knows, somebody who has a tax office. Who does this for a living. So get yourself someone who knows taxes. If you can afford to get yourself a tax attorney. Especially now, if you have a business and if your business is doing more than 150 G's a year, it would behoove you to get yourself a tax attorney. They'll say just whatever you spend on that attorney will save you greatly a lot more money. Okay, so because with a tax attorney, if they make a mistake, your taxes, that doesn't fall on you, that falls on that attorney. You all know that, right? Big difference, right? There's a big difference. So that's not going to fall in your camp. That's why you hire a tax attorney if you're making that kind of money. All right. Next question.
Calvin, I had a question in regards to the AI and
Yes,
when it was going to be available.
I don't know. Like I said before, they came back to me with it. I looked at it. I loved it. I gave them some, because we settled on some things as far as, exclusivity and what our network will have and what it's going to cost us or cost you all as network members and how big of a discount you all are going to get. Because this thing, I think they were doing overseas. They had a different version of it that they were doing, overseas, and they were selling it for like $600-700 a month. But we got you all down to a single-digit monthly figure. You understand what I'm saying? To under $100 a month, it's not going to be like $500, $700 a month like they would normally do, because this thing is like, but yes, it is worth that. Hey, but it was
whatever it is, it's worth it because it is streamlined.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm currently working with something like that at the city level.
Not only, but
it's
this thing not only streamlined. Just imagine being able to plug something in and say and click dedicated, and it just finds all dedicated runs for, or it creates dedicated. It creates a dedicated run package for you, load package for you. Right?
Yeah, it'll be worth it.
Yeah. So
another question in regards to the brokerage business structure again.
Mm-hmm.
In the video, it talked about when in the videos that you're talking about, that it talks about those the person that's doing the carrier acquisitions, that they're going to be compensated 50% of the broker's fee. And when I hear that,
the carrier of acquisition.
The carrier acquisition.
Yeah. Those people are both bringing in the carriers and they're booking loads. Those are your booking agents.
But 50%, when I calculated 50% of the brokerage fee, I mean, they're going to be making more than, your sales executive.
No, they're not.
No?
No.
Okay, can you explain
No, they're
that to me,
not.
then, please?
No, they're not. All right. Let's take a look at this. See, you got to understand the complicated math of it. They're not making it anywhere near what the sales executives are making, because remember, the sales executive numbers are based on, yeah, but they're based on what though? They're based on the contracts that they get from the shipper.
Right.
Now, the chances of a booking agent going out there and getting a carrier where they're gonna have 1,000 trucks that they're gonna be booking loads for, that's not a high probability of that, right?
Right.
But just about every shipper you go to is gonna get you 1,000 loads per day, if not per week.
True.
Right? So if you go to a shipper and you sign up a shipper, and a shipper is sending you over 1,000 loads per day, right? And if the carrier network, if the booking agents within your firm are only booking 10% of those loads every day, that's 100 loads per day, right?
Right.
Remember, that booking agent is getting 7.25% of every load that's booked from their what? From their account. So if they got one shipper that they signed up that's doing 1,000 loads per day, they're sending them 1,000 loads per day. Where are we at here? I gotta go back. Okay. They're sending 1,000 loads per day. And the carriers are booking 10, 20, they should be booking at least 20% of that. Right? So that minus 20% is what? 200 loads per day.
Right.
Right? If the average load is just $1,000. Right?
Right.
Hold on, let's go back in there. 200 loads a day times $1,000. I think I did something wrong. What's my time? Times 1,000. Yeah, the average load is $1,000. There we go. That's $200,000 in total load fees, right?
Right.
Right? Times, well, let's say minus 7.25%.
But isn't that what the what your sales executive is going to get?
Yeah, your sales. Remember, you were saying that the booking agent was going to make more than the sales executive. No, they're not. Because the sales agent, they're getting 7.25%, but that's 7.25% of all the loads that's booked from their account.
Right.
They're bringing in, their accounts are way, way, way larger. They're about 1,000 times larger than the number of carriers that a booking agent is going to sign up.
Right. I understand that. And I have that, mentally, I have that, that works out for me.
Yeah.
However, what I'm saying is,
let's make sure you understand this, because I don't think you quite understand this. You see that 14.5? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that represents?
Let me look at your screen. Hang on.
Do you know what that 14,500 represents? Because remember, you got a carrier, because they sign up a shipper that is sending them 1,000 loads per day. That is not unheard of, right, everybody?
Yes.
That is very doable, right?
Right.
It is very conceivable that you will sign up a shipper that is going to send you 1,000 loads per day. Now, if your carrier network and your booking agents on the other side of it, if that executive is sending you 1,000 loads per day down to the booking agents, and your booking agents are booking 20% of that, right? That's 200 loads per day.
Right.
200, and those loads just average $1,000 per load. Some higher, some low, but they average out $1,000 per load. That's what? That's $200,000 in load fees, right?
I know. What percentage goes to the
7.25%?
Oh, okay. So 7.25.
Yeah. All right. Let's say, Yeah, 7.25%.
Okay, that's
All right.
that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
Well, hold on. Let me get it right. All right. So if you as a brokerage firm and you're charging, if you as a brokerage firm and you're charging 30%, know of that, right?
Right.
Let's break that down even further. Hold on here. If you are getting 200 loads booked per day, right? And they're $1,000 per load. And you was hold on here. All right, 200 loads per day times 1,000. There we go. All right, and so that's $200,000 in load fees, right? Now, if the brokerage firm is retaining 27 1/3 of that, which means you're paying 72.35, whatever, just whatever you're paying the carrier, right? Well, let's say you're getting at least 30% of that. That's about average for a brokerage firm, right?
Right.
That's 60 grand a day. That's 60 grand a day. Minus, so you take that 60 grand minus 7.25% is what you're paying your what?
Your sales executive.
Your sales executive. That's $4,350 a day. If they're just doing that if they're doing $4,350 per day times, come on, please reset. 4,000, what was it? 350, right? Dollars per day times 5 days a week. Let's just say they're working just 5 days a week. That's $21,000 a week. Right?
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of money, man.
Right. I mean, I agree. Yeah, I follow you.
So
completely.
you see what I'm saying? So even if it was 100 loads per day, I don't care how you break it down, that sales executive got to make more money. Why? Because they're getting 7.25% of the broker's fee from every load that is booked from their account. From their account. So that means that they're sitting down that same amount of loads every week, and they're down there booking 10 to 20% of it. That sales executive is going to continually get paid as long as that account is good. And you're only giving up 7.25% of your fee to that sales executive.
Right. I understand that.
All right. So how is it that the booking agent is going to make more money?
Well, because in the videos you're saying that the booking agent or you have them like carrier acquisition person.
Yeah, but see,
how many in the videos it says that they are supposed to get 50%.
They do get 50%. They do get 50%
of the brokerage fee.
No, from the carriers that they book loads on.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. Can you clarify that?
All right. The booking agent is not going to be able to. The booking agent is not going to be able to bring in near as many carriers as the sales executive brings in loads.
Right.
I mean, brings in freight. Not nearly as much. Not even 10%. Because remember, what does the booking agent do? The booking agent is going to go out to carriers, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, you know a booking agent that's going to bring in 1,000 carriers?
Nah, it's impossible.
You know,
not right off.
You know a booking agent I'm just going to bring 100 carriers a day?
Nah.
You know a booking agent that's going to bring 50 carriers a day?
Not necessarily.
So you're not even close to 1,000. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? On average, a booking agent if they're booking 10% of what the we already said that they're probably going to book 10% of the loads, up to maybe 20% of the loads. They're going to come in from that from that sales executive account, right? So if the sales executive is putting in 1,000 loads, right, and the booking agent, any one booking agent, now we were talking about your whole sales force of booking agents, not just one booking agent.
Okay.
Not just one booking agent. We're talking about your whole sales force of booking agents.
Sales force.
They're booking 10 to 20% of those loads. So one booking agent ain't gonna book 10 to 20% of 1,000 loads.
Right.
That ain't gonna happen. If you got 10 booking agents, right, and you divide that by each one of them, right? So if you got 1,000 loads that's coming down and they're booking what, 10%? That's 100 loads divided by 10 what? Booking agents, right?
Right.
So you got 100 loads.
That's 1,000.
No, divided by 10 booking agents. So that means each booking agent, on average, booking 10
loads a day.
Booking 10 loads a day. Now they're booking 10 loads a day, right? And the loads are averaging $1,000, and you getting, and your cut is 30%, right? So that means you're getting what, $300 per load, right? Right?
Right.
So you're getting $300 per load, and you're paying them 50%, right?
Right.
That's $150 a load times 10. That's $1,500. What?
A week.
Per day. They ain't nowhere near what that executive. They ain't nowhere near what that executive is making. Why? Because you're not just booking. He's not just getting loads from just one booking agent. Remember, he's getting loads from all 10 of your booking agents, because all 10 of them together is booking that 10% of what? The loads that's coming from his account. But see, one booking agent ain't gonna book that many loads. At most, one booking agent is gonna book 10 of those loads a day. If they're that good. On average, most booking agents gonna book what, 3?
3 or 4.
Exactly. So they ain't gonna make, booking agents never gonna make what the sales agent is gonna make, because the sales agent has a much more difficult job. He's got to convince the shippers to do what? To sign up and send those loads over. You understand it now?
Yeah.
And you're only giving up, and you're only giving up 57.25% of your brokerage fee.
And that's total, right?
Yeah. You're giving up
right.
57. You're giving up 57.25% of your brokerage fee, because you're paying the sales agent 7.25% of your brokerage fee from every load that is booked from their account. Not every load that's booked, but every load that's booked from their account, which is a lot, because their account is huge. They're bringing over huge accounts. They're working with shippers. I mean, there are some shippers that may be sending you 10,000 loads a day.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So they're working with a much larger pot. The booking agents, they're not working with that big of a pot. But then their job is not as hard either. It's a lot easier to get carriers. I'm the sign carriers on. It's the sign shippers on. We all agree on that, right? We all know that scenario. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So each person is getting paid what they are worth, because bringing in shippers is the lifeblood, really, of a brokerage firm.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why they're getting paid 7.25% residual for once again. Now, if a booking agent signs a carrier up to their sub-carrier group, that carrier is part of their sub-carrier group. So that means he's getting 10%, he's getting 50% of every load that he books from his carrier group. And if another booking agent books a load on somebody that he brought in, then he's getting 25% of that. They're splitting that. It's the same 50%. He's just getting 25, and the other guy's getting 25. You see how it breaks down now?
Yes.
But no matter how you look at it, they're not going to make as much money as that acquisition agent, that that sales executive that's contacting and bringing in loads from shippers. Now, in order for that sales executive to be successful, he's got to do what? He's got to get shippers signed up, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. They get paid the big bucks because they're doing the big job. They have a much more difficult job. Now, here's the good news. Because this software is only going to be available to our network, and I've instructed them to go back and create a broker version and a dispatcher's version. Because before, all they had was just a dispatcher's version. And I've instructed them to go back and to create a broker's version. So when you all take on the jobs of what these of the efficiency broker consulting program, you all will be armed with what? An automated AI that searches out shippers and does the work for you as far as getting that brokerage firm signed on with shippers.
Yeah, I sent a message to you, you know, saying that, you know, I'm willing to use my brokerage as, you know, a guinea pig
Yeah, I know.
for the brokerage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Like I said, you know, we got a lot of big things coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, when I tell you we're working on stuff that, you know, that's changing the industry, because see, this is not a freight broker training course or a dispatch training course. This is a logistics entrepreneur training course, training platform. It's not a course at all, really. This is a network.
Mm-hmm.
And the network is what is attracting people like that, these software development firms, because they're looking at our network and they're seeing the sheer numbers and size that we are. See, that's the mistake that other freight broker trainers made. They made the mistake of not seeing the big picture. They made the mistake of just focusing narrowly on a narrow path where I'm gonna create an ebook, I'm gonna create a class or a course, and I'm gonna charge $1,000 or $2-3 grand, and I'm gonna make $3 grand a pop, and I'm gonna sell this ebook, and I'm gonna have the people come to my boot camp for 3 or 4 days, and I'm gonna make myself about $3 grand a pop and send them on their way, and I ain't never got to hear from them again. That's very narrow-minded. Right?
Right.
Because you ain't built no kind of network. You got no type of connection with the people who have ordered your stuff. They got no kind of connection with each other, because they don't talk to each other. You don't allow them to talk to each other or even know who the other people are. You ain't gonna pick up the phone when they call you back to ask you questions and stuff like this and this and that. You're not offering them any type of tools or resources. You're not creating anything tangible for them to use on a daily basis. Remember I told y'all there's power in networking. I told y'all hear me say that all the time, right?
Strength in numbers.
Exactly. Now y'all are starting to see what that power yields. Because when people see that you all are connected and you are growing, and you're growing exponentially every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, you get people outside of the industry who are working on things, and they will create things based on your growth, based on your numbers, based on what you are teaching your network, and everybody's on the same page doing the same thing. Then you have other opportunities and people out there who are saying, well, shoot, you know, based on, because he's telling people to call these carriers up and ask them how much money do they need to move their truck. You got a whole network of people doing that. They're all linked together by the same platform. They're all dispatchers, National Dispatchers Network. They've grown to more than 4,000 members over the last 3 years. Now, that means he's got a database of people he can send something out to, and they go out to all 4,000 of them. What if I can work on something that can make dispatching automated? And what if I could introduce it through this network? You see the advantage in that? See, that's where everybody else was short-sighted at. That's where everybody else is, they're concentrating on making all the money at one time. That's why we only charge, what, $249, $349 on the corporate level, a little bit higher, and you only pay what? Small monthly payments because you're on the network. That's why we give you so many tools and resources to keep you all connected. That's why we put y'all in a chat group so y'all can stay connected to each other. That's why we have the weekly trainings so you all can always have a connection with me every week, 3, 4, 5, at least 3 days a week, 4 days a week. We allow y'all to have private consultations and book private consultations. So people on the outside, when they see this and they're creating things, they're going to bring it to a network because the network gives them what? The power of what? Branding. And it gives them the power of branding that and showcasing that because we have a YouTube channel that showcases the stuff that we do every single week. We post stuff on YouTube at least 3 days a week. And we have another huge following there. 29,000 subscribers, plus subscribers. Our videos are more than 2 to 3 hours long. The average person that watches our videos spends at least an hour and 10 minutes before they hit the pause button. We got a built-in captive audience. So that's what's going to cause people to look at our numbers and look at our size and look at what we're doing cohesively as a unit. And they say, if I create this, I can introduce it in through this network, and the network can blow me up, as y'all like to say, right? Because that's what it's all about. Or that's what it should be about. And then when people come to me with this type of stuff, because I had a lot of people come to me with stuff, but they just wasn't offering enough for it to be beneficial for the entire network. So when people come to me with stuff, I look at it, I say, okay, yeah, that sounds great, but how does that help our network? Well, if we decide to push this, or we decide to push this, in our videos and push this, on all our training sessions and push this to everybody that joins our platform, we got to have some type of exclusivity. Make it only available to us for the first 4 or 5 years. Now we're talking what? How it benefits us, right? And them. You understand? Because that's what I do. Because I got a whole lot of people that have come to me with stuff, but I can't entertain all of it because they either not making sense how it's going to benefit the network, or what they're talking about won't benefit the network enough. So I enter into talks with them and say, look, and let them know what we can do for them, but I want to know what they can do for us too. And that's how you bounce things off each other and you create the creative juices and your mind starts stirring. Next thing you know, y'all come up with a game changer. That's how it all goes down.
Mr. Calvin, when will you be posting this video? Because I could tell I missed a lot. I got off a little late.
I'm gonna try to get it posted. I'm gonna try to get it out before the night's over with. Okay. I'll try to get this up and out before the night's over with. Now remember, we're also broadcasting live on Facebook on the RBBS Logistics Learning Center, my page, All Truckers United. Yeah, the new All Truckers United. So you can go to any one of those and find it there too. Okay, now it's gonna be in the raw version, the one that does live, because we're still broadcasting live on Facebook. But we're gonna have a version that we put on YouTube that's gonna show our version, show where you all can listen, you all's questions and responses. The one on Facebook, they can't hear you all's. Their recorded version, they don't hear you all's responses because they're not tapped into Zoom. They're not interactive. You all are interactive. They're not. So when it's recorded on Facebook, they're only getting pretty much my answers. And I think they can hear you. Well, no, they can't hear you all. They're getting my answers to things, and they hear me talking to you. That's why a lot of times when y'all ask me something, sometimes I repeat what you asked me, and that's for Facebook's, their perspective, so they at least know what was asked. Okay, but they can't chime in. They can't, ask me questions live and stuff like this and that because we're on here and we're, good at what and we're into what we're doing. So that's why I started incorporating a 15-minute pre-show, on Saturdays now. I come on about 20 minutes early and I do a 15-minute pre-show on Facebook where they get to type in questions and ask me, and I respond and answer, and I'm talking about stuff, this and that, but then we go right into the show from that pre-show. Okay. But the answer to your question is, I'm gonna try to get it up before the end of the night. If not by the end, it'll definitely be up by tomorrow. All right, we're getting close to that time. Does anybody have another question real quick? And we're gonna wrap this up. Nobody has another question?
I've got a quick question.
All right.
It's Eric. I'm running into a problem with carriers having to have an authorization from the one that they're under. So I've got one guy, I'm sending loads because they sent me the dispatch agreement back, but all of a sudden they're saying, hey, you got to contact this guy. So I guess their authority and their MC number is under somebody else. Yeah. So then I have to contact them and try to deal with him,
okay.
Basically resell him on everything.
All right. Well, then they don't have the authority to run their own loads then.
Right.
Okay, that's the question you should be asking them first. Do you have the authority to pick and run your own loads? Because if they have the authority to pick and run their own loads, if what other carrier network that they're running for gives them the authority to pick and run their own loads, you wouldn't have to call them. You wouldn't have to do that. You would just, because if they're running their own loads, that means that they can pick their own loads and you can do a contract with just them and you're going to get a percentage of what they make, not what the whole company makes off of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the first thing you have to establish is, do they have the authority to pick and run their own loads? Now, some guys will say they do, but they really don't. So you got to really dig and ask that question. So that means if I send you over a dispatch agreement, you can sign it and then we'll be good. Or do I have to send it over to your main company and do they have to sign it? Which one? If they say, well, you got to send it over to the main company, then you don't have the authority to run your own loads then. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because even when I was hauling for Western Express, when I was an owner operator, but I was operating on the Western Express authority, right? And Western Express as well, and that's the only reason why I signed on with them, because they say you can pick and run your own loads. So after I got on with Western Express, I told them, I went right to the dispatcher's office, Western Express dispatch. I said, I'm truck number such and such, who's my dispatcher? They say, that's your dispatcher over there. Eon was his name, I think it was, and your night and weekend dispatcher is Amber. Okay, so I had a meeting with both of them. I said, look, I'm an owner operator, which means I need to learn how to run a truck, which means I will not be running any loads that you all sending me, so don't send me any loads. Now, if you think I'm joking, if you send me a load, I'm not even going to respond to it. I'm just going to ignore it. So I'm telling you right now, don't send me any loads. I don't want any of your loads. I will choose my own loads. When I choose them, I will have that broker to send you the confirmation rate sheet. You then will transfer that into into your system, and then you will send it to me over the Qualcomm. Because I get paid 73 1/3% of the loads that I run. And I'm not running any of your loads. I'm gonna run my own loads. Now, for the first 2 weeks, they thought I was kidding. They would send me loads. And I tell them, and say, well, how come didn't I tell you I don't run your loads? This truck is registered under who? RBBS Transport LLC. It's not registered under Western Express. It runs on the Western Express Authority, but this company is RBBS LLC, which means I run my own freight. I will find my own freight. I will send you, the broker will send you the Qualcomm. I mean, we'll send you the rate confirmation.
Okay.
You know, and then you would transfer it into a Qualcomm transmission and send it back over to me, and I will accept it. And that's the only load that I will accept. They finally got the message. After that, they never sent me another load coming from Western Express. Every load that I ran, I found it myself. I worked with 3 or 4 different brokers that I worked with. I had one dispatcher that I worked with, and that's how it worked. I paid my dispatcher. You know, when I accepted his loads, I paid him his cut, and that's how it worked. Okay, so you have to make sure that they understand that you have to identify those people who actually have the authority to run their own loads. You know, some guys say, "Oh yeah, I can run my own load, but it's got to go through the company." Well, they may be misunderstanding what it means to run your own load. Now, all of it's got to go through the company to probably get transferred over to their system. But they can pick their own loads, and then what it is, the broker sends that load over to the company, and then the company then takes out their percentage, and then they transfer it back over through their Qualcomm through that actual driver with his 73 1/3%, the amount minus their 20% or 23% or whatever it is that they're getting. See how that works? That's how that works.
Yes.
And there'll be some carriers that don't understand that. You might have to explain that to them. Their company may actually allow them to run their own loads, and they're misunderstanding when they say that it has to run through them. All they're saying is that, yeah, you can pick your own loads, but the rate has got to come through us so we can take out our percentage, and then we will route it back to the carrier with his cut. And then he accepts that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
It's the same thing. I'm telling you all, you are only going to get a cut of what the carrier gets, because the company's going to get their cut. And then when the carrier gets his, remember, you got to invoice who? That person. So you can only invoice him on what he got, on what cut he got.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So it's communication, really, and it's helping them to understand what powers they really have.
Exactly. I told y'all before, sometimes you got to train your carriers. Good dispatchers make great carriers, not the other way around.
Right.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it. I like these questions and answers. I like the Q&As. I really do, because you all get to ask me what's on your mind. You all get to ask me things that you are concerned about, or things that you are lacking in. And if I'm just doing a course or a class that day, and I don't know exactly what it is you all are lacking in, I'm just assuming that what I'm going over that day is going to benefit everybody. And sometimes that may be the case, and sometimes it may not be the case. But in Q&A, you all get to go over stuff that is really pertinent to you, stuff that you're having problems with, and that's why I like them. I love Q&A. Most freight broker trainers don't like Q&A because they don't know enough about the industry. You start asking them stuff and they ain't got no answers. You know what I mean? So they want to just teach you stuff that they have on their agenda, or go over stuff that they have on their agenda, because that's all they know. And they don't want to be put on the spot with Q&A. I love Q&A. If y'all haven't noticed that, I love Q&A. I'm always asking you all, ask me questions, ask me questions, ask me questions. Okay, because I do have a lot of knowledge, and that's not bragging. That's just a reflection of where I've been, what I've done, and how good I was as an owner operator. Because unlike a lot of freight brokers, I've been on the other side of it. I know how to run a truck. Okay, I know what it takes to run a truck. I know when an owner operator tells me that cheap freight is a problem, I understand that problem. That's why we was able to come up with a solution to that problem. Because unlike a lot of trainers and stuff, I've actually been up and down the mountains. Okay, I've actually been out there in the storm. I've actually been to the truck stops. I've actually done all that type of stuff. Okay, so and I'm eager to share it. I am so eager to share whatever information or whatever knowledge I do have. I love sharing. I love talking to you all. I love when you all present questions to me. I like when someone presents a question that stumps me, because then that requires us to do what? Go looking for the answer, right? Y'all have seen us do that before. You always ask questions sometimes. Well, let's find out, and we'll go digging and find the answer. I like that, you know. So just want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all. I appreciate each and every last one of you all. To the new people, you all in for a great ride, but you got to be committed to learning the stuff you need to learn. Okay, follow the steps, get into the chat groups, schedule your private consultations. When you come to the live interactions, ask questions. Ask questions. I don't like sitting on here and just talking and nobody asking me no questions. I get lonely. If you think you're lonely now,
You gonna come with that?
wait until tonight, girl. It's been a long time. All right, y'all. say, hey, y'all knew it was coming. I ain't saying all day. y'all knew something was coming. So, but really, really though, I appreciate you all. We are working on a lot of great things. We are doing things in this industry that nobody expected us to do. We are solving problems that nobody expected us to solve. We are making moves that nobody expected us to make, and that's a testament to both you all and to myself, and I am very, very, very proud of that. I'm very, very proud of each and every last one of you all, and you all are gonna make this you all are gonna you all are about to make this we're already a one of a kind platform, but you all are about to help change the industry in so many positive ways, especially for owner operators, and they've been getting the short end of the stick for so long, and now we are about to even the playing field for them, and I like that. I don't know, and I hope you all like it too, but I like that. All right, y'all have a great weekend. Y'all be safe, protect yourselves. Mask up, glove up, disinfectant down. Don't get caught slipping. You know this thing, because it may not harm you, but you may catch it and give it to somebody else that may kill them. So you got to take responsibility for your actions, because somebody else might wind up paying the consequences for your actions. All right. That's the sad part about this whole situation that we're in right now. All right.
Yeah, Calvin, are you going to post for those of the private consultations that you can, that are not,
Yeah,
that you can
for the
record,
ones,
are you going to post those?
Yeah, the ones that have given me
permission
to, I am. I was waiting because some of them, we talked about some stuff that I don't want to put out yet, but I am going to post them. I've got a couple of them posted on they're not on the RBBS Logistics Learning Center, but they are on the RBBS National Dispatchers Network page on Facebook. But I will get them.
Okay.
But I will get them on YouTube. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend. It was a pleasure as always. And this has been Calvin from the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. And this has been the National Dispatchers Network. And we're out. Bye, everybody.
All right, everybody. Have a good weekend.
All right. Goodbye.
Kelvin.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Have fun.
Always.